very excited for tonight. So excited I don't know the words to say. Let's just get on with it. Hello and then welcome back to the playthrough of Great Ace Attorney 2, part of the Ace Attorney Chronicles connection here, and part of my big old Ace Attorney chronology series. We are going through every single game in-game timeline order, if you weren't aware already, and we are into the home stretch, the final episode of Great Ace Attorney 2. It's super exciting to do some more of it today, so I'm going to welcome everybody in Twitch chat coming in here. I'm going to welcome everybody on the YouTube show that we've made after the fact. It is nice to have you either as your first episode tuning into my show, or if you're a returning person, welcome on back, and I sincerely hope you enjoy what's coming up today. If you do, let me know. You can leave a like and comment down below. If you want to go further with your love and support, you can always hit the subscribe button. You can always hit the bell too. All of those things will be super, super helpful. You can get push notifications about future episodes of this series plus more. If you're interested in me continuing in the Ace Attorney chronology, those things will be helpful for you if you want to catch up with things you might have been missing. Okay then! So as I said, we begun in episode 5 of Great Ace Attorney 2 Resolve in our last time out. But before that, we had several revelations hit us during the last period. We figured out many a big thing of one of the big things that we found out was the true identity of whom Herlock Sholmes' partner is within this in-game universe, which we found to be a great big old surprise. And honestly, now realizing that, I realized a couple of other things with that as well, and it was very, very interesting to say the least. But now, as we come into the next portion of the trial period of this big old tumultuous trial for our dearly departed Fish and Chip Man, this is what we're going to get continuing with today. Another revelation is Holmes is helming the court this time on this trial, because it is not our usual judgy judge. It is somebody else who we will realize. We will show off who they are in a little bit. And hello, Cass! Come on in. You're just in time. Just in time for the start of this. So, as we go into the second day of this massive old trial, big old things are about to happen, but what are they going to be? We'll need to play and find out, don't we? So let me get into my voice. And also let me test my thinking voice. This should be me in echoey when I have blue text to read, and we should be good. And now we should be back to normal. Okay, plenty of drinkies on standby for the voices that I'm going to do. I'm going to take a quick sip now. And let's start the show! Oh, of course, Casimir's back, yes, as well. State your name and occupation for the court.
Inspector Gina Lestrade reporting. Representative Scotland Yard.
A self-conferred rank, but never mind. Gina? Again?
Hey, what's your problem, Odai? What's with that Gina? Again, look, eh?
Ah! Everybody is a telepath in this universe. And they all choose to read one mind and one mind only, and that is poor old Yunosuke's mind.
The boss meant the world to me. He done more for me than anyone else ever did.
Ah yes, this is whom is presiding over the trial in this day. Totally not with an ulterior motive. I keep thinking this guy has, like, something up his sleeve, and something very, very sinister up his sleeve for him wanting to be here this time, and for wanting to have everything set in motion. So we will have a look and see. Oh, Inspector Gregson, you mean?
He got me out the back slums on the East End and took me under his wing. Taught me that life can have a purpose. So that's why I'm the best person to be standing here speaking for him.
Oh, Gina.
Right, all of the goodness of Gregson's heart. Not at all that he had his arm twisted by Mr. Sholmes, no, and I'm sure that was goodness pouring out of his heart, not fish and chip grease. Everybody except defense lawyers can read minds. Almost seems to be the case, right, that? What's relevant to these proceedings is that the outcome of Scotland Yard's investigations yesterday has revealed that the victim was carrying out some assignment the police knew nothing about. Very troubling. That face. Lord Strongheart knew! So, Inspector Lestrade, let's hear exactly what it says in that report.
Coming right up, sir.
Would she testifying about... She testifying about the victim's movements. Alright, our first big one of the day.
All your detectives supposed to follow orders and investigate what they're told. That little search at boss' office turned up a notebook that had a lot of secret meetings in it. According to that, the boss was looking into some smuggled goods dealings that day. Looks like it was a big job and all. The coppers weren't onto it yet. And what matters most is, there's witnesses what saw the Reaper at the place too.
Smuggled goods?
I don't know, dear. I'm just telling you what was written in book.
Tobacco, tea, spices, medicines. Goods of all sorts flow into London by illegal channels from across the globe. It's well known that they're disposed of at regular black markets that take place in the capital. But the police are rarely able to locate them in time. So Inspector Gregson was investigating one of those black markets? It's been suggested that high-ranking government officials may be involved in black market activity. No doubt Gregson was trying to avoid details of his investigations being leaked into the involved parties. That would explain why he was operating on his own authority without the Yard's knowledge. And do we know where the dealings were taking place this time? In a particular room of a certain exclusive London gentleman's club. And on the day in question, the accused is known to have been there. That's the conclusion of Scotland Yard's investigation into the matter. That can't be! We haven't heard anything about any of this! Members of the club have testified to it. There's no question. The accused, Barak Van Zeeks, was present. That would be a very significant testimony then.
Oh my! But... Lord Van Zeeks has made no mention of this! At all!
In short, Lord Van Zeeks had ample opportunity to murder the victim. The fricking cane used as the gavel is... I don't like the sound produced out of it. It's a big old cling. And it's like, It's like... Not quite on the level, but if I feel the same sort of tingle in the back of my back, I guess. Like my hairs, the hairs on my... Whatever hairs are on my back stand on end when, trying to describe it now. Scratching the blackboard. You ever done that? Somebody tries to do that, like scratch a blackboard in your school or something like that with the depths of the fingernails and the awful sound that comes out of it. Him hitting the gavel with his cane top kind of is on a similar level to that. Not quite like grating and really unpleasant, but the sound is still rather unpleasant, shall we say. Very well then, counsel for the defense, begin your cross-examination. I wonder where the actual judge is in all this point. Is he having a nice foot bath somewhere? A nice foot bath and a good old, like, steak pie at the inn or something like that. We only had those roller blackboards at my school, not quite the same effect. Oh, as in the ones that you pull... Like, you pull them down and... You pull them down and it's like vinyl. It's like vinyl so you can write on it with a whiteboard pen or something like that. I mean, I wouldn't know that. I think the schools I went to had like a combo of the two. Later down the line, I know we switched out to have like smart whiteboards in, so you can actually have a program mode and you like a smart pen. You can actually write on the board in a smart pen, and it turns up on the computer screen like that. And yeah, the schools I go into nowadays, it's like it's a combo. It's kind of potluck what kind of board you get. Some of them are still you know, stuck in the late 20th century, still using good old chalk blackboards. Some of them are moving on to having like whiteboards, and some of them even more are going to move on to smart boards and replace the old TVs on wheels. Yeah, we have like smart TVs as well that you can write on the TV screen with that as well, and that kind of thing as well. I just need where it's possible for the entire education system to catch up on technology. Because really, the places where I work, it's been potluck. Some of them are up to snuff on technology. Some of them are still stuck in the late 20th century, as I say. But yeah, how you doing, everyone? It's nice to see you again, Double, and everybody else coming in. All right, figure out which of these testimonies is the testaphony. Here we go then. All yard detectives are supposed to follow orders and investigate what they're told. I think we'll do the usual thing. Press everything. Hold it! Hold it! I'm gonna get all flavor texts. Some schools have kids and adults who cannot be trusted not to break stuff. Yeah. Can't trust them to use them in the right way. Unfortunately. So you follow orders, do you, Gina?
Nah, not me. I'm above all that, say.
Oh. They're letting an 18-year-old they dragged off the took off the streets have more authority, like, straight away over other grunts? Great idea, Scotland Yard!
The boss always had special orders for me. Grab us some fish and chips or go and give Toby a scrub. That kind of thing.
So, errands more than orders, then. This detective is still an apprentice, after all.
But yeah, well, this apprentice ain't want to sit around and wait to be told what to do, even by the boss. That's why I've been doing my own investigations into what happened. And I didn't find much at first.
A little search of the boss's office turned up a notebook that had a lot of secret meetings. Hold it! Hold it! So you went through Inspector Gregson's things?
Yup! As part of the independent Lestrade investigation.
I'm sure your superiors would be delighted that you're taking the initiative.
So I snuck into his office when no one else was about. So if anyone in the yard had seen me going in there, they'd have turned me straight right onto the street.
This is sounding less and less like an investigation and more like, something else. The prosecution understands that it was this very detective who discovered the notebook.
You got that right. Nothing gets past Inspector Lestrade and our trusty assistant, Chief Inspector Toby. He's a good boy, he is. We found it hidden in one of his desk drawers that had a false bottom.
That's impressive. Wow.
So then I went to hide myself when no one could find me, so I could have a butcher's at what was written in it. So if anyone in the yard found me out, they'd have turned me straight out onto the street. I've given it in now though, ain't I? And if it weren't for me, it'd never been found.
Unscrupulous methods, but they turn up something at the end of the day. The boss was looking into some smuggled goods dealings that day. I'm thinking, could we, I don't know, could we, get that... I don't know, could we, could we falsify that straight away with whatever this is on here?
There are details of a whole raft of cases dating back years on there, aren't there?
This paper's from 10 years ago. It's browning with age, look.
Out of interest, the most recent thing that appears to be this newspaper cutting here.
Oh, it's the same Red-Headed League advertisement that Mr. Sholmes had picked out.
And do you remember? There was a red hairpiece at the scene too.
Was Inspector Gregson an exponent of the Red-Headed League, then? I don't know if we could prove that testimony false by this. Like, is there anything about smuggled goods? Unless that's what the Red-Headed League were doing. And I don't have any details about that, really. Would love if the game ends with Gina getting the fish and chips addiction like Greggy did. We'll see when we get there, hopefully. Let's get some more details. Hold it! Hold it! It would be poetic, let's say that, yeah. Do you have any idea where those dealings were taking place?
Yup! It was all there in the boss's notes. Let's see if I can remember,
As I already said, the illegal dealings were due to take place at the Gentleman's Club. Oh yeah, I remember. But I was hoping to find out the name of the club. That won't be necessary. What? It's conceivable that the club might be used again by the smugglers in the future. Therefore, the prosecution has been asked not to reveal the name in these proceedings.
I don't know what the fuss is all about. It's right here. All I gotta do is read it out. And I could too. I've got this reading game buttoned up now. Can't I show you what I can do? Go on. What's the arm?
The judge hasn't signaled his objection yet. I could try to find out. What should I do?
Hey, Thony's here.
We are Ace Attorneying today. This is the final episode of Great Ace Attorney 2 Resolve. I don't know if you're planning on playing this, but do be mindful of the spoilers. But yeah,
I'd love it to have you here.
And say, do we insist on having the name revealed of this club? Shall we insist and try and see if we can get it? This is a closed court. The proceedings are confidential. There shouldn't be any possibility of the information being leaked. As I explained, there is some possibility of politicians being involved in this affair. The prosecution is rightfully exercising caution, I imagine. I'll forget about playing anyway until I get around to playing it. Yeah, I feel that, honestly. If I catch wind of somebody playing a game that I plan to play at some point, but not for a good long while, I will probably forget about the details about what was going on at the time. Like 99% of the time I'll forget about it by then, so I like to think I'm pretty good. But yeah, just bear in mind, we are late gaming here, so if you're planning on playing this yourself and coming into this stream here, bear in mind, like I said, Case 5, episode number 5 in Great Ace Attorney 2. We are very much away into the game here, so mind out your spoilers. No, my lord. The prosecution has no objection. Kazuma? There's no question that Inspector Gregson was looking into these black market dealings. However, it's not yet been established that he was on that particular trail on the day in question. Like me with Xenoblade X constantly half a chapter behind. Yeah, we'll get back to Xenoblade X, I'm sure. I ended up having a break from it during the last week, but I plan to fit in something of it, I think, this weekend. Burp! Okay, Cass, we'll see you when you burp. If the defense requires to know the club's name, the prosecution has no intention of being obstructive. But is you being intent on being obstructive yet? We'll see.
Right then. I get to show off my reading skills.
Amended testimony.
Apparently, the smuggled goods deal is going to happen at a gentleman's club called The Grass.
Hold it! Hold it! The Grouse? What sort of a club is that?
I ain't got the foggiest. Clubs ain't exactly my thing. But I am kind of curious.
They're not places where a foreign student like Hugh would be readily admitted. Have you looked into the mirror recently?
I'll tell you what. Me and Chief Detective Toby could go in undercover.
Could you, though?
I could pick out a few good marks and see what else I could find while I was in there.
I really don't think you should go picking out anything. Anyway, that's where these black market dealings were going to take place, is it?
Yeah, it's gotta be. That's what the low-ranking detectives at the yard reckon.
Just as the even lower-ranking detective. A break was probably a good idea given the issues with quest levels. Yeah, just... I don't know, just during that show, I felt myself, like, slipping away from sanity and, like, being a good presenter, and just, we needed a refresh, and that was probably a good idea to do. I think now, if I go back into it, I'll expect those kind of shenanigans again to happen, so I'll be better equipped to handle them, I think. But we'll see.
Looks gonna say it was a
Big job and all, but the coppers weren't onto it yet. Hold it! So how would Inspector Gregson come to find out about it in that case?
And that's the question, ain't it? The Honest Apprentice, so...
And why didn't he inform Scotland Yard of his findings?
Yeah, that's what I was asking myself. Cause, you know, I'm just an apprentice.
When it suits you, sure, yeah.
Anyway, the point is, something went on in that club, no question.
You can't say that for certain, though, surely. But what matters most is there's witnesses what saw the Reaper at the place, too. Was there really?
Hold it!
Hold it! Lord Fenseeks was at the club? He was at the club going boom, 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 boom. He was. Detectives who visited the club yesterday were to make inquiries have confirmed it. Several members report having seen the accused being admitted into the room in question as a guest. Looks like there's no disputing that he was there then.
Well, we know that Lord Fenseeks was investigating Inspector Gregson, don't we? Perhaps he'd already discovered the Inspector's secret notebook.
Which led into the club, you mean? Maybe. Presumably then, that's where there were also eyewitnesses who could testify that Gregson was there? None have been identified at this time, no. So, the all-important victim wasn't seen at this mysterious club.
Oi, why aren't you asking Inspector Lestrade here, eh?
Because we choose when your ranking in the force is important. So that's all I've got to work with. Gina's not holding back with that ice-cold stare of hers, is she?
I really don't know what to make of all this.
Well, Lord Fenseeks told us he was investigating Inspector Gregson, but he never once mentioned that he met the inspector the day before the incident.
You don't think Lord Fenseeks could have been lying to us, do you?
That's not the only way to explain this.
Oh?
If everything Lord Fenseeks has told us is true, then there must be a mistake in this testimony somewhere.
You mean there are details we've yet to uncover?
Exactly. A clue, perhaps, that even Gina hasn't noticed. That's what we should be looking for here. Okay. At a load of secret meetings, smuggled goods deal was going to happen at a gentleman's club called the Grouse. There was a big job and all, but the coppers aren't onto it. Witnesses what saw the Reaper at the... There's witnesses what saw the Reaper at the place. Well, it would be good if we had, like, a record of what Fenseeks' testimony was all about. Did I get a look at this yet for proper? I saw the big old slash in the what is it? That hello. Let's look at that later. I don't know if any of these are going to be relevant, but we'll have a look. Have you seen this huge gas across the side of the trunk here? It's gone right through the leather and into the metal behind.
Gosh, for a metal chest like this to have been so badly damaged. Whatever made the gash must have struck the side of the trunk with considerable force.
I wonder how it happened. So we'll get a look at that, and then we'll get a look at bloodstain. Look at this dark stain here. Do you think...
Yes, I'm afraid so. I think it's blood.
Ugh, I knew you were gonna say that. So that presumably means...
that this was present at the scene when Inspector Gregson was killed. It's the most logical conclusion, yes.
To think Gina's been carrying this around with her. If you didn't know any better, I suppose it does look like a grease stain from all the fish and chips. Yes, because fish and chip grease ends up becoming red when it dries up. Like, becoming crimson red when it dries up. Yeah, that's, Let's have a look inside. We could be turning up something in here. There is blah 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 blah, and there's a note right here. Look, there's something inside.
Oh, let's see. It appears to be a passport, authorizing him to travel overseas.
Was Inspector Gregson about to go on a trip abroad then?
Perhaps a date of departure might tell us something. That was... Oh!
What is it?
It was for travel on 31st of October, just one day before the incident.
What? Really? Right, a passport into the court record. Maybe tomato ketchup from the chips. I don't know, I didn't see Gregson enjoying ketchup with his fish and chips. Like, would that even have been a proper condiment to have in the late 1800s? I don't know. Could have been for all I know, but yeah. Definitely, like, salt and vinegar would have been your usual toppings, but what do I know? All I know is that I miss fish and chips with salt, vinegar, and ketchup. Please! For crying out loud. Anyway, I got a passport, a document that was in Inspector Gregson's possession. It was issued for travel to France the day before his body was discovered. Gregson went to France the day before his body was discovered? What, went all the way to France? Somehow managed that, did he? So can we get more details about? Name, Tobias Gregson, passport number, date of departure within 1 week from 31st of October, destination, port of Dunkirk in France, purpose of travel for police business, note, permission for the applicant and one additional person to travel. Which would have been apparently Gina at the same time as well. I just want to have a look at the bunny doll. Because the bunny doll very nice.
Oh, what a charming little rabbity version of Mr. Sholmes. Do you suppose this is how Iris sees him? Are you alright, Mr. Naruhodo? Your eyes are veritably boring into the poor doll's ears.
Oh, sorry. I was just wondering. What do you suppose would happen if I were to tug its ears with all my might right now?
I'm sure that we'll find out, when the time is right. To become a proper gentleman, you really must learn stoic patience.
Oh, come on, I want to know! What I want to know right now! Like, come on! Come on! What I don't know about this is that this is actually a bug of some kind. As in something that's able to, like, I don't know, record things going on. Did we get a look inside that? What the idea looks like inside. Did I get a reading of everything in? Scotland Yard insignia looks genuine. The department and identification number details are all correct as well. There's no doubt this is Inspector Gregson's identification. I don't know if there's anything in that. I have the same layout with the little animal versions of the characters.
Oh, that's nice!
It really is nice. Send up that notebook, which I don't have in my record, do I? So I can't check what's I can't check what's happening there. Sorry. I don't know how to move through testimonies. It was a big job and all, the coppers went into it. There's witnesses what saw the Reaper at the place too. Well, in any case, I think I need to do a confidence save at some point in here because... I think because I don't really have much of an idea right now, I think I'm bound to get it wrong at least once, so... Supposed to follow orders, investigate what they're told. Set up a notebook that had a load of secret meetings. a smuggled goods deal was going to happen at a gentleman's club called the Grouse. There's nothing in that. Don't know if I see anything in this either. The victim was found with a red toupee on as well. I don't know if that's something to do. Gentleman's Club called the Grouse. Is the Grouse even on British shores? Or am I reading too much into that? So what's the hint I get afterwards again? Just to try and figure out what I'm meant to look for here. Don't know what to make. Lord Van Zieks told us he's investigating Gregson, but he never once mentioned that he met the inspector the day before. Could Lord Van Zieks be lying to us? That's not the only way to explain it. If everything Lord Van Zieks has said is true, then there must be a mistake in Gina's testimony somewhere. There are details... Oh, wait. I'm going a bit too quick here. There are details we've yet to uncover. A clue perhaps even Gina hasn't noticed. I don't know, maybe the detail that we just found in the passport that's here. For travel to France the day before his body was discovered, so maybe this is right. Maybe his whole purpose of going to France is to investigate more of these Gentleman's Club smuggled goods dealings. I'll give it a try.
Objection!
I'm wrong. I am absolutely wrong. Okay, that's fair. What do you think, my lord? He's probably gonna give you a big old slap on the wrist for that one. Sound like fair days. There's witnesses what saw the Reaper at the place, too. Is there? I don't know, was there anything else in the trunk that I didn't notice before? Right, nothing up top. And the only thing of importance is the passport that we found. Chopping wood is hard. Oh, is that what you were doing? Well, I don't know. Maybe a tea, maybe a comfortable warm tea might be a thing that you need or something. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out what the bloody hell's going on here. What is the detail that Gina hasn't noticed? I think that... No, nothing in that. That's not relevant. The muscles in my chest that haven't been neglected for over a decade. I feel that. It's a big job the coppers went onto it. I don't want this to result in me having to go through each testimony again. I really don't think I want that.
Hold it!
But I might have to, just that quickly. You follow orders. You're above all that. Special orders that were kind of more errandish in nature. That's basically had nothing in it.
Hold it!
This one. Snuck in when nothing was about. One of the desk drawers that had a false bottom. That's impressive. If anybody else found me out, that'd be straight out. I don't know if there's any evidence of the case having a false bottom. If there was, it had a thing. I don't know. Let's take a look at the thing again. Did you see that? There's something stuck in the side of the trunk there. It's glinting.
It looks like a fragment of metal of some sort. But it's wedged in so tightly I can't remove it.
Well, don't cut yourself. You better leave it, I think. A surprise tool that will help us out later. That would be the evidence of another kind of attack that happened. What was the last progress you made? Yeah. This is the first testimony that Gina is giving us. And the clue that we've got is we need to find something in the testimony that maybe Gina had overlooked, potentially. And we've got to hand in a piece of evidence that gives a bit of a clue to something that you overlooked. I think it's something to tie with this, but it doesn't tie to this testimony here. It was a big job and all, but the coppers weren't onto it yet.
Hold it!
What happens when I dig this in again? Clubs aren't your thing. You are curious. They're not places where a foreign student like you would be readily admitted. Did you press any statements? That's what I'm going through again. Have you looked in the mirror recently? We could go in undercover. Really? Pick out a few good marks and see what else I could find while I was in there. You shouldn't go picking out anything. That's where these black market dealings were going to take place. That's what the lower rank detectives at the yard reckons, says the even lower ranking detective. Big job and all, but the coppers went onto it. How did Inspector Gregson come to find out? Why didn't he inform Scotland Yard of his findings? Just apprentice when it suits you. The point is, something went on at the club, no question. You can't say that for certain. Could it potentially tie to this because he had that card in his pocket to card in his suitcase for issuance of like traveling to France? Is that why he told nobody and the coppers went in on it yet? Because this was his secret? I'll try.
Objection!
No. As counsel for the defense, I must object to that last statement. Yeah, don't. Don't object to that. Don't be a silly, Yunosuke. Don't be a silly. Don't be a silly. So this is... Okay, so this is what we got to try and find again. Don't know what to make of this. Lord Van Zieks tells us he's investigating Gregson. He never once mentioned that he met the inspector the day before. Could Van Zieks have been lying? But that's not the only way to explain it. If everything Lord Van Zieks says is true, there must be a mistake in this testimony somewhere. There are details we've yet to uncover. Yes. A clue, perhaps, that even Gina hasn't noticed. That's what we should be looking for. Wonder what Gina hasn't noticed. Do we have evidence already that we know what the grouse is? Not outside there, for sure. That doesn't give us anything. No. It's not them. We've already used them as the evidence. That doesn't have anything in it yet. God, okay. Yeah, I'm at kind of an impasse here. I don't know. I ain't sure at this point. Yeah, lay it on me, chat then. Come on. What could you give me as a hint here? Because I am curious now. Without giving the full answer away, what could you hint me towards? That could help me figure it out. The only weapon I have left. Don't see anything in the papers. Yeah, no. May need to re-examine some of the evidence. Okay, examine everything about the wig. I don't know, but there's a... There doesn't any label on the wig. I think I've already had a look at it. Doesn't get blown up in a gust of wind, I mean. That'd be a little inconvenient when you wanted to take it off again. Yeah, that doesn't lead to anything. What else can I examine? Already given that an examine, we know what... I don't think what's there is going to be relevant. What else can we take another look at? Again, the revolver? Is there anything about the revolver? Through their issue 2, I was told that for the past 5 years, they've been engraved with a unique serial number. As far as I can tell, there's nothing like that on this gun. It must have been issued longer ago than that. Okay. Something more directly related to him. I mean, he had this key, didn't he? Then we twist the head and it goes like that. Alright. He also had a pocket watch. Can wind it up again and can unlock it and see again. Wind it up every single day for 10 years. Reminder of the past, lest he forget. There's a stub. This must have been where a little knob or something on that for a second at a time. In that case, seeing as we know what the inspector took such good care of in this watch, probably broke when the incident occurred, didn't it? It could mean that there's a small part of the watch still at the scene, maybe. Which we didn't see, and we can't go back there now. Trying to look everywhere on this, and obviously that's not the blue thing. The only other blue thing I can think of then would be... that. Been fairly manhandled, which stands to reason, really, doesn't it? Gets turned around and around every day. Hope it doesn't fall off. And that's what we can do. And that is the key that goes towards the watch, isn't it? To wind it up. Yep. Well, it should be a policeman, I mean, but it's because it was a gift from Scotland Yard in recognition of Gregton's hard work. If his head did fall off from overuse, it might seem a little inappropriate. That's the British sense of humour for you, apparently. Ooh, I've just seen what the time is, actually. I know I've spent a lot of time thinking about this, but, still haven't got to it yet. We'll think more about it during the break, but we need to take one now, because I've seen the time is quite close, actually. So I'll come back to this when I'm, done for this break, Twitch people, so this is your chance to get up and do some business if you need to while we rinse some ads as well. YouTube land people, there's going to be no break, but feel free to come back after you take a pause yourself. That's absolutely fine to do. Make sure you're taking care of yourself during this long video, and I'll be back and hopefully with an answer when we come back, so I'll see you in a bit. Okay, hello again. Welcome back to the impasse that I am currently stuck in right now. I've got a method to get out of it. It's basically just going to involve, like, going through in order everything that we can do, that we can have a look at again. But, before I do that, I'm going to welcome you all back, if you're in Twitch land or YouTube land. If you're in YouTube land, thank you for sticking with us so far. I know you've probably been screaming the answer at me right now, but, we'll get there eventually, I'm sure. Through my process of elimination of going through every single piece of evidence that I'm about to do. But yeah, I hope you're still enjoying it. If you are, like and comment down below. If you want to go further with your love and support, want to see more of this series in the future, hit the subscribe and hit the bell. All of those things will be super duper helpful for me. And yeah, thank you in advance if you do so. Right. That's gonna have absolutely nothing for us. I don't think that is. Did I maybe overlook something? Maybe I might have overlooked for something about this. Because it just looks like a note at first.
Oh, it looks like this is some sort of steamship ticket. The SS Grouse.
Hello! The Grouse isn't a club, it's a steamship. Oh, there you go. That could be what I'm looking for.
The SS Grouse, first class cabin 001. Yokohama departure, 11th of September. London arrival, 1st of November.
Oh, that's the boat that Professor Mikotopa and Judge Jijoku came from Japan, isn't it?
Yes, I think it called at Dunkirk on the north coast of France for a night before finally arriving in Dover.
To think it's been almost a year since we arrived in Dover on the SS Buria. It seems a shame not to keep your ticket as a memento of your trip, don't you think?
Yes, I agree. I have mine safely in my diary.
And I keep mine in my wallet, so I have it with me at all times. Oh, well, how strange. Where could it have gone?
Are you like this on purpose, Mr. Naruhodo?
Did I imagine it, or was that accompanied by a little sigh? But it has accompanied me with the evidence that I need to be like, yeah, this isn't a gentleman's club. The Grouse is a steamship, you know.
Objection.
Here we go. We got there in the end. Process of elimination. Have a look at literally everything and make sure you don't overlook a single piece. God, that could have flown by us, actually. Very, very easily missable if you don't actually examine things. You can't just like look. You couldn't look at that in face value and see the word grouse on there anyway. You actually had to have it read to you when you examine it. Sometimes that's what it calls for. And I'm just sorry it took that long for us to get around to it, but there we go, we got there. I've read about these clubs that exist here in Britain. As I understand it, there are places where well-to-do gentlemen socialize with friends and colleagues. Don't imagine for a second that a foreign student like you would be admitted. Seriously, is your mirror cracked or something? But do we know for certain that the contraband dealings would definitely happen at a club called The Grouse? The police are currently looking for evidence. but haven't found anything definitive yet. And I'm sorry to say that they probably won't. What do you mean by that? I mean that the place Inspector Gregson was secretly going to visit on the 31st of October may not have been on the Gentleman's Club at all. You're showing a very irrelevant attitude towards your country's police force there, Counsel. If it wasn't a gentleman's club, then what was it? A steamship! You think it's a ship? I have the evidence to prove it here! Let me see that. This dark-suited young man is not in the least bit untrustworthy. The other side, my lord. Be more specific next time. This would appear to be a ticket for passage upon a steamship, yes. The SS Grouse.
Objection!
Objection! So there's a steamship named the Grouse that happens to share a name with the club. But I'm afraid to say, there's a flaw in your logic there. How? Look at the ticket. Notice the date of arrival in port. The ship arrived at the port of Dover on 1st of November. The day on which the sound like a gunshot was heard on Fresno Street. In other words, on the day in question here, 31st of October, when the victim was on his clandestine mission, that ship hadn't yet docked on British shores. That would certainly make an undercover investigation somewhat challenging. Objection! The fact that the steamship hadn't yet reached Britain substantiates the defense's assertion that the victim was investigating the SS Grouse on the day in question. Then show your evidence for that assertion. Very well. I don't like that sound. In that case, counsel for the defense, present your evidence to the court now. Evidence that substantiates your claim that the victim was investigating the SS Grouse on the 31st of October. He had a passport for it, doy. I believe. Destination, Port of Dunkirk, within a week from the 31st of October. He had it in his passport, right? I'm pretty sure that's the way it's meant to go, but we're gonna confidence save and just make sure. But yeah, he had the evidence to get on over to France while it was docked at that time. While the ship Grouse was docked in the port of Dunkirk at that time on the 31st, before then making a short trip to Dover, and then arriving on whatever it was, November the 1st. So it must be this.
Take that!
Take that! What's this? A passport for travel issued to the victim? Dated 31st of October? What are you suggesting? I'm suggesting that just one day before the inspector's body was discovered, there's a distinct possibility he wasn't even in the country. Duh! I think I got it right. Yeah. Order! Order! This document is for passage to France. It does appear to have been officially authorized. The day before the SS Grouse arrived at Dover, it docked on the northern coast of France for a night.
According to my father, who was on board at the port of Dunkirk.
Dunkirk, France. What could possibly have taken the victim there? I'm impressed, Yunosuke Naruhodo. I certainly didn't expect you to get your hands on that passport. What? You mean, you knew about this? The prosecution's strategy for this trial has been laid down by the Crown Prosecution Office. On the day before the incident, the victim was investigating contraband dealings at a London club. That's the outcome of Scotland Yard's investigations, and the lines the prosecution has been asked to follow. But personally, I don't agree. I think the prosecutor's office is trying to hide something. What? And now that you've expertly disproven their assertion, I intend to reveal what I believe that something to be. What are you playing at, Prosecutor Asogi? A courtroom is a forum for the truth, my lord. Which is why it's my duty to present all the facts without exception. Let me guess. This was your intention from the outset, wasn't it? The reason Inspector Gregson secretly made his way into the steamship docked in France on the day in question was to carry out a mission for the Reaper! The Reaper! Ah, shoot.
God, 3000, stop that sound! I don't like it!
Damn it. Order! What on earth are you saying, Counsel? The prosecution made an assertion in court yesterday. Inspector Gregson was investigating the identity of the Reaper. When he discovered the location of the man's secret hideout, he was killed. As I'm sure everyone can imagine, by the Reaper's hand. But in reality, the truth is the opposite of that. What? Inspector Gregson wasn't investigating the Reaper at all. He was, in fact, acting for the Reaper. So, you're saying the mission he was undertaking was, obviously, an assassination. Sir! Barak Van Zieks never carried out any of the actual killings. Whenever the Reaper's victims lost their lives, he always had a cast-iron alibi. Which tells us that he must have had an accomplice. The sound of Strongheart's gavel reminds you of the sound that plays when you lose a point in this game. It's very similar. Also, it's not quite as heavy sounding as the gavel hit, to be fair, which is why I don't like the gavel hit sound more, but yeah, I see what you mean. They're both very not pleasant noises. And you claim that was Inspector Gregson?
Hold it! What the hell do you think you're saying, eh? My boss would never have done nothing like that!
And yet, when you consider all the facts, it all makes perfect sense.
No! It can't be!
We also arrived at the same conclusion, didn't we? That Inspector Gregson was operating as the Reaper.
But even so, there's no way that the person giving him his orders was Lord Van Zieks. No, the true Reaper is somebody else. Barak Van Zieks is not the Reaper. A predictable response from someone who's advocating for the man. And even if it's true that Gregson was operating as an agent of the Reaper, the suggestion that he went aboard the SS Grouse on an assassination mission doesn't follow at all. Oh, you have some solid reason for doubting the assertion, do you, Counsel? Absolutely. It's very simple. On the day in question, nobody was killed aboard that steamship. Professor Mikotober and Judge Jigoku were on that very ship. If someone had been assassinated, I'm certain we would have heard about it. Oh, pfft. What's so funny? Oh, you're right, of course. No suspicious deaths were reported on board the ship. But I think perhaps you've missed the point. That's precisely why Inspector Gregson himself lost his life. What? Gregson did board the SS Grouse that night with the intention of dispatching his mark. But his mission ended in failure. Failure? It seems that the defense hasn't yet grasped the very important detail here. What are you talking about? What detail? I like how I have to turn on my thinking voice for like 2 words and that is all. Just always going like, duh, duh, duh. Just going like that all the time. Inspector Gina Lestrade.
What?
The victim's notebook that you read an excerpt from earlier. That doesn't contain details of secret investigations at all. It describes 10 years of assassination plots to be carried out by the Reaper of the Bailey.
Oh, you're lying! Even if all them bludgers were got taken out and it come in, the boss What, the Reaper? Oh, poor Gina.
There's no question that Tobias Gregson was heavily involved in the Reaper's activities. You may just be an apprentice, but if you've spent any time at Scotland Yard, you must have heard rumours.
But I ain't heard nothing, and I don't believe a word of it.
Then testify again, as a representative of Scotland Yard. Consider it your chance to defend your boss.
But I don't...
Duh! I concur. The witness will give a new formal testimony. Miss Lestrade, you will tell the court everything you know about Inspector Gregson's secret notebook.
Mm.
The mysterious book. Tell me about it then.
Oh yeah, this notebook does have a lot of stuff about what the Reaper got up to these past 10 years. Names of victims, dates and places and stuff. And the last entry in there was at 31st of October. It said grass with the place and that date, and then the name and the mark. There was a note about him being a criminal who got away from the Reaper in court 10 years ago or something. But honest, the boss didn't do none of it. He was just investigating the Reaper. That's all.
Please do not make my Gina upset. I don't like it when my boo-boos get upset. I didn't like it when Iris ended up crying. I didn't like it when Gina ends up crying for a reason. It's like, stop it. That's my heart you're playing with. Keep personal opinion out of your testimony, witness. We would require only established fact here. This must be so hard for her. You can't deny it now, surely, Yunosuke Naruhodo. Well, what can I deny? The notebook contained the name of the final mark and the location where the assassination would take place. That's information that the victim could only have known if he was working with the Reaper. Ah! So, who was to be this final mark? Go ahead, Inspector Lestrade. Read the name for the court. Someone who escaped justice 10 years ago. I feel like I've come across the name before, but I can't put my name on it. The name that's written alongside the entry that mentions the grouse on 31st of October.
Hey! How'd you read this then?
Oh, reading's still not her strong suit.
Hey, that ain't the problem, alright, O'Day? It's a funny name. It ain't English. It's hard to read.
So it's someone from overseas?
Alright, let me have a bash at it. Seishiro. Is it?
Chigoku was the hit? Oh no.
Yeah. Seishiro. Chik Okyo. Maybe?
What? It can't be. Seishiro Chigoku?
But that's just Chigoku.
Seishiro Jigoku. Certainly not an English name, you're right. Objection! But that can't be right! I know Joe Shigoku, and I saw him the day before yesterday, here in London! So I know for the fact that the man hasn't been assassinated. As I said, the Reaper failed. Oh! Gregson missed his chance to kill his mark and return to British shores. But the Reaper wouldn't tolerate the mistake, so he killed the inspector personally. Ah! The Reaper, of course, being the accused, Barak Van Zeeks. It's an undeniably logical argument. Kazuma! You planned for the trial to go this way all along, didn't you?
Hold it!
Duh. That was a shout by Barak, wasn't it? Hold it. Boots! Hold it, das Boot. A I'm so surprised that he gets a chalice even when he's on the bench or at the stand. I'm very, very surprised. Pray forgive the discourtesy of filling my hallowed chalice while I stand accused of murder. Lord Vanziques! The accused has no right to speak until uninvited in court. You will return to the dock. I say nothing of whether or not I'm the Reaper. That's the task of this court to decide. But there is one thing I can say unequivocally. That girl is no detective. Be careful! I was gonna say, you're gonna get glass into Gina's eyes here. Jesus Christ, man.
What? No, that's right. I ain't. I'm an inspector.
Repeating rumors heard around the yard, reading entries from a notebook of unconfirmed origin. That's not testimony, it's practically a script. No doubt the rest of this trial will go exactly as you've clearly planned. Your hatred of me is understandable. In your mind, I'm sure I am the Reaper, who sent your father to the gallows all those years ago. But you're in danger of becoming a far more sinister Reaper yourself. By attempting to have me condemned with this feeble excuse for testimony. What did you say?
Mr. Naruhodo, this is our chance!
My lord! The defense requests that the defendant be allowed to speak. He may be privy to important information relating to the testimony just given by the witness. That is a threatening aura, my god, male. Jesus Christ. Ah! That's why it's threatening, because it plays a very, very bad sound. Very well. I'll make an exception and grant the request. The defendant may remain in the witness stand for the cross-examination. Then allow me to toast the court's impartiality. Don't raise your glass in my direction, sir. Counsel for the defense, begin the cross-examination immediately. Ow. At once, my lord. My cheeks hurt now. So there's bound to be something that Vanziques is going to be objecting to during this testimony, I think, as I press it. It has a lot of stuff about about what the Reaper got up to in the past 10 years. Hold it! In other words, it shows that Gregson was basically acting as the Reaper.
Not you and no! That ain't the only explanation, is it? He could have been investigating the Reaper in secret, and that notebook said what he found out.
If I may, when originally people began referring to me as the Reaper, I didn't object. I believe the power to intimidate London's criminal classes into compliance with the law to be beneficial. But you carried out your own investigations into the true identity of the Reaper, didn't you? Yes, and those investigations proved conclusively that Gregson was one arm of the Reaper.
One arm? What are you on about?
The Reaper's victims were all extremely shrewd criminals at the top of their game. There's simply no way one person could have taken them on alone. The Reaper is an organization. With you at its head? I had spies at the yard keeping me abreast of Gregson's movements, letting me know when he was elsewhere. So I'd been able to check the most recent entry in his book. I knew the location. You knew it said Kraus? Believing it to be a reference to the Gentleman's Club, I went there on the day in question to investigate. Alone.
Oh, so that explains why several members of the club claim to have seen you there.
But of course the inspector was not there. Because at the time he was making his way to the steamship docked on the northern coast of France. As shown by the passport found in the victim's metal trunk. Duh! Very well then. Back to your testimony about the contents of this notebook.
Fine.
Is something wrong, Mr. Naruhodo? You seemed a little shocked by something a moment ago.
Oh, no, it's all right. I'm overthinking this, aren't I? pray tell what? I don't know if you're meant to be pointing me towards testimony number 1 with that reaction, but we will see what every other testimony has to offer, and then make a decision, try and make a decision then.
Hold it!
Hold it! Names of victims, dates, places, and stuff. What stuff in particular?
Well, besides the victims' names, this other name kept cropping up.
Whatever name was that?
It's the one I told you yesterday. The same name, written over and over again.
You mean Asa Shin?
Yeah, that's the one. She's a friend of yours or something, isn't she?
Were you even listening yesterday? Asa Shin, the assassin.
What? Like, a killer, you mean?
Gregson was a tactician, the one who came up with the plan of attack. He investigated the marks thoroughly, finding out when they would be vulnerable and who to use to get at them. But the person actually executing his plans was someone else, you're saying? If that's true, then the Reaper does indeed start to sound like an organized group of vigilantes. Ah! Then perhaps what is said on the passport document. Permission for the applicant and 1 additional person to travel. Could that additional person have been... Clearly the assassin who was meant to take Seishiro Jigoku's life. Gina, can you confirm that? Against the final entry that listed Grouse and Seishiro Jigoku. What name was written?
Well, if that's the only entry that didn't have a name next to it, as it happens.
What?
It just said like a question mark or something there, I think.
In other words, Gregson himself didn't know the identity of the assassin in that case. But Gregson was the one making the plans, was he not?
Oh, how infuriating.
A nameless assassin? Because if Asa Shin was the assassin's true name, and we found out, I think, during the long ways here that one of the aliases of the assassin was Giselle Brett, as in the same Giselle Brett that we convicted in the first case of first game, and then did solved the murder case of in the first case of second game. That's only an alias. She could have been using multiple aliases in that case. Anyway, let's keep going.
Hold it!
Hold it! So it said Grouse on the mark there. And you're saying that the mark listed was Seishiro Jigoku?
That's what it said. It's a funny name if you ask me. I thought your name was Odd, Oddo.
So pleased to have lost my crown there. Mr. Jigoku is the presiding judge of Japan's Supreme Court of Judicature. I remember the man. He came to our country as a visiting student 16 years ago. Studying international law and diplomacy under your tutelage, Lord Strongheart. That bearded young fellow was a very able man, I must say. So Lord Strongheart was Judge Jigoku's mentor. If I'm not mistaken, he returned to Japan 10 years ago now.
10 years ago? After the fateful case?
Precisely. In the aftermath of the Professor case, his repatriation was organized immediately. It's a mystery why such a man would be listed in the inspector's notebook.
I didn't think it was possible, but the moods in here's got even worse now. Maybe I'll just keep talking.
A note about him being a criminal what got away from the Reaper in court 10 years ago or something. What, did they mistake Jigoku and what is it? Genshin? They mixed up, they confused Genshin Asogi with Jigoku? Or is it something about Jigoku that we have yet to uncover?
Hold it!
Let's see. Hold it! What do you mean a criminal? Judge Jigoku is no criminal, so far as you know.
Well, don't ask me! I don't know nothing about it! Oh,
do you remember what Father told us? That Judge Jigoku did once appear in court here in Britain.
Oh, to be fair, yep.
It was related to the Professor case, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, of course, you're right.
Seishiro was trying to mitigate Genshin's guilt, so he took the stand to testify. But he got a little carried away and, actually managed to break the witness stand. He also said some contemptuous words about the British Empire, for which he was charged.
Just directly charged for libel. Okay. It was a pitiful situation, yes. I'd forgotten all about it, but I prosecuted that trial too, as it happens. You did?! It was considered to be an adjunct to the Professor proceedings, you see. But he was acquitted after being told to make reparation for the damage caused to the stand. And there you have it! Have what? Surely the accused hasn't forgotten his own rule. That there's no saving anyone who faces the Reaper in court, guilty or innocent alike. What? No! Are you suggesting that the reason Judge Jigoku was targeted for assassination? The man was sent back to Japan immediately after that trial. The Reaper had no time to do his work. But then, 10 years later, the mark returns to Britain once more. Perhaps now you start to see just how vindictive the Reaper is. Come on, that's absurd! To take someone's life for that? Isn't the whole premise of the Reaper absurd? Killing those who have been found innocent? Clearly the rule by which the man operates are beyond the same person's comprehension. But...
Objection! Right, I've had just about enough of this.
Gina!
All this nonsense about the boss planning to kill people is cobblers. Come on, Oday.
Yeah?
Why ain't you saying nothing? Why ain't you yelling out objection? Or summer?
What?
You've got to find the flaw. You do usually. Someone's lying here, no question. You've got to work out who it is. Please, for the boss.
Still don't like that sound. That outburst was an insult to the court and to your own testimony. I might have known that a pickpocket from the back slums could make a detective. When this trial is over, you will forfeit your warrant card, Mr. Strahd. Is that clear?
I had him in the lot of you! It's lies every bloody place you look this far, did it? Well, I've had enough.
Gina.
So have I. After that little speech of Gina's, I've made up my mind.
Do what, Miss Naruto?
There was one point in this cross-examination when something that was said just didn't sit right with me. One statement that seemed odd.
Oh, do you mean?
I'm not gonna let Gina's plea for help fall on deaf ears.
Come on, Oday! Help! You've got to find the flaw somewhere!
Hold it! I will try to, because I don't like to see you cry. Hold it! I want to thank you, Gina. You've helped me find my resolve. What do you mean? Amongst everything we've heard during this cross-examination, there's one thing that defies explanation. One inconsistency. What? An inconsistency? Mm-hmm.
Really, Oday?
I don't quite know what it means yet, but...
Yes, there's an inconsistency in something that was said, by... I think it's time to do his confidence save here. Is now the time where we start outing Mr. Van Zeeks about something that you're not potentially telling the truth over? Because the only 3 people it would be Gina, Barak, at a stretch, Kazuma. But I don't see that happening. I'm saying the only person it could be Barak. That's the most likely option to me. So let's try.
Take that!
Of course, by you, Lord Van Zeeks. Me? What? Your face is turned ashen. How could he know? Is that what you're thinking? If my face is turned ashen, it's because I'm thinking, how could he? I could be wrong here. I don't know where you're going with this, but maybe the evidence you're obviously about to show the court will clarify. In that case, the defense will present evidence to substantiate its claim. To which piece of evidence does this alleged inconsistency relate? Ooh, now I've got to put my money where my mouth is. Ew, I put my stick in the mud now, haven't I? What? So what could it be to, like, prove that Van Zeeks is not being entirely accurate here? What else do I have? If I've already had a look at it, then maybe not. I don't think. This dark-suited young man is not in the least bit untrustworthy. Does it make me sound extremely trustworthy? He did call you a nice young man. I'm not sure that would help. Yeah, no. Don't think it's that. Death from a single stab wound to the heart, superficial external wounds indicative of a duel. Recent scar-like ink stains visible on the little and ring fingers of the right hand, but no document in corresponding ink was found. I've got to think if it's pointing me in that direction. I must have the right person. Which piece of evidence? Which piece of evidence? Nope. I don't know, is there something in that too? Let's hear us all the hallmarks of like the attack going on here, and the fact that the blade is stuck in a piece of a blade is stuck in there. Like was this attack related to the meeting that apparently Van Zieks and Gregson might have had? I wonder. Or is the game just let me have this as a goose chase option that is just going to be wrong from the outset because somehow I got the wrong person, but yeah, I am unsure. This is a very, very hard case, I will have everybody know. Yeah. The worst thing is I think I have saved it at this point, so, yeah. Because if I'm wrong with the person who's been lying here... That's just... I'm probably gonna be wrong on this, but... I think I might have it right that this is the crucial crux of it. But I think my placing will be on the wrong person, and I might have to take the hit on this one, but we'll give it a try. I hope not to have to present this evidence, but you leave me with no choice. What do you say to this, Lord Van Zieks? Your feelings were correct. Presenting that evidence was a mistake. I suggest you withdraw it. Sorry? Good advice. Because you've turned decidedly ashen. Ah! I only hope the Reaper doesn't hold that against you. Hang on, just gotta bring back my, thingy there. Give it a mo, give it a mo, give it a mo. Fingers crossed. I think this line of argument has run its course. I suggest you learn from your mistakes before you make a fatal one in the eyes of the Reaper. I'd better listen very carefully to the testimony again. So that's what we have to work with.
It may help us and Lord Van Zieks is in the stand too.
Yeah, perhaps. I'm sure Gina knows nothing she hasn't already told us. There's no point in trying to get more out of her.
Did you notice how Cosmo-sama reacted to Lord Van Zieks' words?
When he called him even more sinister Reaper, you mean? Well, I'm sure Kazuma intends to eliminate any shred of doubt that the man is guilty. He's looking for revenge against the person he considers to be his father's killer, after all.
I do worry that if we fail to find a discrepancy in his testimony somewhere, the trial may end and adjudication won't go in our favor. Let's listen carefully again to what everyone is saying.
Name's date, says grounds, and the name of the mark.
Hold it!
Let me get this one down again instead quickly. Jigoku is no criminal. I don't know nothing about it. What did father say? You go back in time and remember that Jigoku said some bad things, broke some things, ended up being charged, but very quickly quitted. Forgot a lot about it, but you prosecuted that too. He was acquitted, being told to make reparation. There you have it. The accused hasn't forgotten his own rule. There's no saving anyone who faces the Reaper in court, guilty or innocent alike. You're suggesting that the reason Jigoku was targeted for assassination was sent to Japan immediately after that trial. The Reaper had no time to do his work. Then 10 years later, the mark returns to Britain once more. Now you start to see just how vindictive the Reaper is. That's absurd. To take someone's life for that? Isn't the whole premise of the Reaper absurd, killing those who have been found innocent? The rules by which the man operates are beyond the same person's comprehension.
Hold it!
It's Kazuma being the vindictive one here. Because we all know his whole shtick is like, I want to figure out what's going on here, and my plan, somewhere or another, is to seek solace. If by way of revenge, then so be it. So this would be beyond any sane person's capabilities, but to be honest, Kazuma's outburst there might be a sign of that not being a sane person's thing to do. So there's an inconsistency in that way there. Maybe Kazuma is the one who's being a bit naughty here.
Take that!
Oh damn! That was it! I think it was it. By you, Kazuma Asogi. But me? Is this some attempt at filibustering, Counsel? Prosecutor Asogi has given no testimony. What are you suggesting I said that was inconsistent? You let something slip that you shouldn't have. When I present the relevant piece of evidence, I imagine you'll realize what you've done. Very well then, Counsel, go ahead. What evidence reveals this alleged inconsistency in something Prosecutor Asogi has said? There you have it. There's no saving anyone who faces the Reaper in court, guilty or innocent alike. The mark returns to Britain once more. The mark... Is that Jigoku being the mark? Is now the time to put this forward? Something like just like the blade mark there is all there is for it. Let me get another look at it. Gonna look at it, and then maybe this time I might have something more to say about it. Now let's have a look. Do you see that? There's something stuck in the side of the trunk there. It's glinting.
It looks like a fragment of metal of some sort, but it's wedged in so tightly I can't remove it.
Well, don't cut yourself. You better leave it, I think. Who do we know that uses a blade like that? Van Zeeks with a rapier. And Asogi with the sword Karuma. So if this is like... So if that's meant to be Asogi's blade, and we are assuming that Asogi... How would Asogi have known to be there at that same time? How on earth? Let's try that.
Take that!
This is a trunk that belonged to Inspector Gregson. A metal construction, is it? It's certainly very heavy. What's this? A blood stain? And a relatively fresh one, too.
What? You mean that I ate grease from the boss's fish and chips?
The game is even like that, too. I am certain that fish and chip shop grease does not turn crimson bloodstained red. What do I know? Fresh blood on the inspector's trunk. That suggested the victim was traveling with that luggage when he was killed. That can't be. There was no mention of any trunk in Scotland Yard's report. Yeah, there's a reason for that. Immediately after the inspector's body was discovered, one of the street peddlers made off with the trunk, hoping to sell it.
No, but I found it. Me, with me nose for trouble.
Which means that nobody should have known anything about the trunk. Unless, of course, we're talking about somebody who was present when the victim was killed. So we are pinning Asogi there at the scene for some reason. And yet, during the cross-examination of the witness just now, you said this, Kazuma.
Because at the time he was making his way to the steamship docked on the northern coast of France, as shown by the passport found in the victim's metal trunk.
Bing bong! How does he know about the passport if it was inside the chest? The chest that supposedly has no idea about. There we have it. So the question is, how did you know about the inspector's trunk? Well, we know the man went on a trip to France. Where else would he have put his passport? Objection! But you knew it was a metal trunk. Answer me honestly, Kazuma. On the 31st of October, where exactly were you? At the port of Dunkirk on board the SS Grouse. Is that the answer you're looking for, Yunosuke? Kazuma! What did you...
I hadn't considered the possibility before, but if Kazuma was there on the ship, then it can only have been for one purpose.
Oh no, Mr. Naruhodo! Surely you don't think...
Come on, Yunosuke, you know the rules. The only thing that really talks in the courtroom is hard evidence. Ugh. As I understand it, Inspector Gregson always took that case with him when he traveled. So as it stands, you've proved nothing. Kazuma, are you challenging me to prove it beyond all reasonable doubt? That you were there that day, in the same place as the inspector? He was there? With Gregson? There's a clue that you've overlooked. A secret that Trunk can tell us.
I can't be sure at this point. I'll need to verify it. But I have a nasty feeling that I'm gonna be right.
The accusation being made is deeply disturbing, but nevertheless, we must test it. The defense will identify for the court where in the trunk this alleged clue is to be found. And we will do so... Oh wait. Where is the evidence that ties Prosecutor Asogi to Inspector Gregson? We will do this after we come back from the break. I'm pretty sure I know what it is, but we're going to do it. We're going to reveal all when we come back from a break. It's time to run one now. So, Twitch people, that's what we'll do. Feel free to take this time in the next couple of minutes to do some business while we rest up for a bit and then come back to it afterwards. YouTube land, there's no such thing as a break because we cut it out of our highlights as per usual. But if you would like to pause and come back to us later, that's a good idea to do, and make sure that you're taking care of yourselves during this very long video. We like to make sure that you're comfortable taking the time to watch this far. So yeah, make sure you take care of yourselves in any case, and I'll be back to do some more for the Twitch people in a few minutes' time. See you in a bit. Let's get right back into the show then. This is a good time with the tension beats. Can't have a boogie to the beats of this game. So seriously, honestly. Too good, too good. So, yep, welcome back everyone in Twitch land and YouTube land. If you're seeing this on our YouTube highlight after the fact, thank you for still sticking around this far. It's a long video, I know, but we thank you for choosing to spend some time with this video. If you're liking what you see, don't forget to leave a like and comment down below if you want to go further with your love and support and see some more of this in the future. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and hit the bell as well. All of that, super useful to me, super helpful, and thank you in advance if you choose to do so. So, we need to find the evidence that will tie Asogi to Inspector Gregson. And I think this metal mark is going to come back into play here. So let's have a look inside and just double check what this all is. Because maybe now that we are trying to pin this on Asogi, I think we're going to try and pin him on the fact that we only know of a very few select people that use blades, like sword blades, in this game universe. Would be Van Zeeks, who would probably want to do a duel with a rapier of some kind. But we also know that Asogi likes to carry around a blade as well. He likes to carry around Karuma. And maybe in this exchange here, Karuma got broke. Let's have a look. Have you seen this huge gash across the side of the trunk here? It's gone right through the lever and into the metal behind.
Gosh, for a metal chest like this to have been so badly damaged. Whatever made the gash must have struck the inside of the trunk with considerable force.
I wonder how it happened.
And then we get a look at the actual chunk of blade here. Do you see that? There's something stuck to the side of the trunk there. It's glinting. It looks like a fragment of metal of some sort.
But it's wedged in so tightly I can't remove it.
Well, don't cut yourself. You better leave it, I think. Is that really all I've got to say? It would plant Asogi as a likely person to have used a blade at this point, because we only know of him and very few select other people that would be blade users in the universe. So, all connected that we know of at this point here. So this is gonna be it then. For some reason, you felt the need to lash out, and in the process, damage the chest and your blade in the process. So this has got to be it, and we've got to find out why. I've got it! There is a small piece of metal lodged into the wall of the trunk here, like the tip of a blade.
A blade?
Cosma, slung around your waist as ever today, is the esteemed blade Karuma. Of course it is. Won't you draw it here in this courtroom for all to see? Exercise caution, my learned friend. That man is the son of London's most notorious killer. Bailiff, what Prosecutor Asogi like a hawk? That won't be necessary. Karuma is broken! Oh no! I will now say that in Susata's voice. Oh no! The tip is broken. Ugh. If the fragment of metal from the trunk fits together with the end of the sword, the question of who was there with Inspector Gregson will be answered. Agreed, Kazuma Asogi? Expertly done, Yunosuke. That's a point to you, and well deserved. Do you mean to tell the court, Prosecutor Asogi? Yes. On the 31st of October, I accompanied Inspector Gregson to Dunkirk in order to carry out a mission. So the additional person authorized to travel was me. And the mission was the assassination of the Mark. What? You were going to put the hit and take out Seishiro, but why? You mean you're the killer whose name was omitted from this notebook? You were following the Reaper's orders to dispatch Judge Jigoku? Let me make one thing perfectly clear. I have killed no one.
Explain. I accepted the assassination mission, yes, and I accompanied Gregson to Dunkirk, but I never had any intention of carrying out the plan. You were never gonna do it?
We can believe Kazuma-sama, I'm sure. After all, Josh Goku arrived safely in London the following day.
On the 31st of October, I boarded a train from London with Inspector Gregson. We travelled to Dover, from where we crossed the channel to Dunkirk. Then we boarded the SS Grouse and made for the cabin deck, as indicated in the plan.
You went to Josh Goku's cabin?
Exactly. He wasn't there, though. We decided to wait. But you've already told us you had no intention of going through with it anyway. I didn't come to Great Britain to take anyone's life. So I left Gregson and disembarked the ship. I spent that night at the boarding house in the town and returned to England the following morning. A boarding house? In Dunkirk? My signature will be in the register book. It will be simple enough to verify. Then, what became of Jigoku? Gregson was no assassin, so the mark was spared.
This is going to be a case, I think, of figuring out the identity of the person who probably was in possession of Karuma in the interims, like before Asogi was, Kazuma here was in possession of it. Because they may mention that somebody was a user of Karuma or had Karuma in his possession as an apprentice, of whomsoever. Like in between these like big moments here. I think that's what this is going to lead to. Who is this other apprentice? I think that's going to be it. So Gregson was no assassin, so the mark was spared. I'm sure it's easy enough to imagine what happened after that. Gregson returned to England as well, having failed to complete the mission. He met with the Reaper in that room on Fresno Street to report the failure, causing the infuriated mastermind to pull the trigger and end his wretched agent's life. That's the real truth behind Inspector Gregson's murder!
Objection!
Objection! But if you did nothing as you claim, how did the tip of your sword come to be lodged in the Inspector's trunk? I don't need to answer that. The victim was killed by a gunshot. A small fragment of a Japanese blade isn't relevant to the case. And accordingly, I choose to exercise my right to silence on that matter. Be that as it may, the court will sequester a sword as evidence. As you wish, my lord. The great sword Karuma, the illustrious blade passed down through generations of the Asogi clan. The prize sword's tip has a small piece missing and is now in the court record. We must take immediate action now to verify whether Seishiro Jigoku remains unharmed. What? Remains unharmed? I agree. That should be our first priority. It's recently come to my attention that he hasn't been seen since yesterday. How did you... When a foreign dignitary invited to Great Britain goes missing for 24 hours, it's only natural that the question of his safety should arise. You don't mean to say that you think Joshigoku may have been killed? The Reaper has more than one assassin at its disposal, and he has the power and influence to give orders from the inside of a prison cell. Isn't that right, Lord Van Zeeks? If I were truly the Reaper, I'd be able to tell you. Everyone's got silent. Order! Order in court! Order! We will take an emergency recess for 30 minutes. Now? Guests of the symposium have been told to maintain regular contact with the organizer's office. If the man can't be located within half an hour, we will have to assume the worst.
Oh no! Not Joshigoku!
No one would want to kill a harmless Japanese man who'd only just arrived in the country. Except that is... for the Reaper, wanting to finish off a mug that had slipped through the net 10 years ago. I would have to agree. Mr. Naruhodo, for the defense's sake. My lord? I sincerely hope we are successful. If we're unable to confirm Mr. Jigoku's healthy existence in the next 30 minutes, you will face grave difficulties. Court is adjourned for 30 minutes. This all hinges on Jigoku being found safe and sound, but I don't know. I don't know now.
Kazuma-sama, the Reaper's assassin. I feel as though I'm in a nightmare.
I can hardly believe it either. But on the other hand, Kazuma isn't in the habit of making up stories.
I have such a terrible sense of foreboding. If something awful has happened to Judge Jigoku, then I feel as though things will only spiral further and further out of control.
I felt it from the moment I stepped into the courthouse this morning. That strange sensation that we were careering towards a foregone conclusion. Well, in the worst case, we might only have 30 minutes left. Unfortunately, though, I don't think there's anything we can do but wait now. We're out of options.
Actually, there may be one last hand we can play. Or rather, one last ear.
Of course! The little Mr. Sholmes doll that Iris gave us.
If for some reason you completely run out of options in the trial today, then just pull this little Hurley's ears as hard as you possibly can.
So the rabbit is a freaking bug? Is that what we're doing here? I wonder.
Perhaps now is the time. What should I do? Pull Harley's ears or not?
I think we'll do the contingency save to make sure, but I think it is time. Thou must pull ear. Here goes then. I'm gonna do it.
Good luck, Miss Naruhodo.
No looking back. Ha! Right. Oh!
That scream! It sounded like Mr. Sholmes!
Mr. Sholmes? But where are you?
Here, my dear fellow, here! It's the felt doll! I don't know why I'm speaking with that on my face. It's the felt doll talking!
Pull the ears again, Miss Naruhodo! As hard as you can!
Alright then, I'll put all my strength into it. Heave!
Ow!
Please, my dear fellows, you don't need to pull my ears off.
Mr. Sholmes! Where are you?
Myself and my trusted partner are presently in the first-class cabin area of the SS Grouse.
The SS Grouse?
She left Dover last night after the final pieces of cargo were loaded. We are currently docked at Dunkirk, but due to be underway again in half an hour. How on earth is this bloody working? What is this, the longest piece of string ever? But essentially, yeah, this is not quite a bug, but a way for intercommunication to go on there. At this point in... the technology at this point in time, good lord, Iris, congratulations. My god. I love this. It's been underway again in half an hour.
You've taken the ship to France?
Don't worry about it.
No, it's completely okay.
It's completely cool. Please, even with my athletic prowess, I would struggle to jump the streets of Dover. After we left Baker Street last night, we hurried by cab to the station and by train to the port. In order to board this vessel in time.
So, you mean you've already worked it out? That the steamship was where everything really took place?
Mr. Naruhodo, pray, what is my name?
Herlock Sholmes, world-famous great detective. I can't believe you made me just say that out loud.
Recited to perfection. Well done.
You're a genius, Mr. Sholmes. That's the only word for it.
Ow, 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 ow! Miss Susato, gently with his geniuses here, please.
Oh, no. I'm ever so sorry.
That's likely to be Mikotoba in that case, because they both went together.
If I may, Sholmes. Ah, there you are, Mikotoba. You may remember that it was in fact I who made the connection to the SS Grouse. At Scotland Yard yesterday when we examined that notebook and I recalled my steamship ticket. Ah, but of course it was, my dear fellow. And not once did I controvert that fact. I merely had our court-bound companions utter my name. Yes, you did, didn't you?
We just entered the recess. The trial resumes in 30 minutes from now.
And if we're unable to present any new leads then, I'm afraid to say...
Do not fret, please. It's for precisely that purpose that my partner and I have made up this journey. I have no doubt we shall have welcome news for you within the half hour.
Thank you, Mr. Sholmes. That would be wonderful.
Until later, then.
Yes, you'll be hearing from us if you're not in touch first.
Ow, 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 ow! I shan't be hearing anything if you keep tugging my ear in that mindless fashion! Whatever was the idea behind making a receiver operated in that way in the first place, Sholmes? Why the juice would I know? It's Iris's invention, not mine!
Iris likes to have a bit of fun now and then, I'm sure.
Whilst I know how much you enjoy being the hero of the hour, Sholmes, we have but half that now before the Grouse puts to sea again. If we don't conclude our investigations rapidly, we shall find ourselves in Naples before long. There are times, Mikotoba, when you make a surprising amount of sense. So, let us begin! First class cabin number 2. Yes, this is the one. But I don't believe an investigation of the cabin is going to be plain sailing. That crewman standing in front of the door is an angry-looking fellow.
Are we gonna say this is an Italian strongman doing this? Why are you loitering here? Who are you?
My dear fellow, do you not recognize a world-famous great detective when you see one? The question really ought to be, who are you? Do you not will...
Oh, no, they're still Russian. They're still Russian. The name. Oh, of course, these two big burly Russian sailors would be related in some way. Also, why have you got Sholmes written in marker on your arm? I wonder. Do you not recognize world-traveling great sailor Chicken Stroganoff when you see? Great detective? Ha! I do not think so.
Do you see that, Mikotoba? It would appear that this man is a devoted follower of mine. Goodness me, is that a tattoo that says Sholmes? I must say, while such adoration is flattering naturally, it does leave me a little cold.
What are you talking about? Leave now!
How distressing. My loyal devotee knows me only by name and not by appearance. And yet, I already know a great deal about you, sir. You have a brother, I believe. Like yourself, he's a shipman. Currently traveling the world aboard a Russian steamship, in fact.
How could you know this?
Elementary, my dear Mikotoba. He's at the line. Don't take a shot. Drink responsibly. I'm sure it was.
I just love how this bit we've suddenly changed and we're actually doing a play of this short little section as Sholmes and Watson, otherwise known as Mikotoba. I love this. This is actually so good. 3 days ago, I was bound for London aboard this ship, you see. We're looking for one of my fellow passengers, a name by the man of Jigoku. There is no one with this name on board, but we know that he purchased a ticket for passage. Oh, you mean Eastern man? He left ship 2 hours ago. Here at Dunkirk. He said something about emergency, I think. What? Are you sure? So, Seishiro's realized that we're after him, has he? His cabin is the one behind you. We should like to investigate, please. No! I have orders not to let even mouse inside. Mikotoba, be a good man and draw this sailor's attention away, would you? Make up some excuse so that he leaves the area. Doesn't Great Detective see that even sailors have ears both left and right? Curses! The plan is ruined! And you have only yourself to blame, I'm afraid, Sholmes. Forget it. Cabin door is locked. Even if I am not here, you cannot get inside. Mikotoba, I'm sure you haven't forgotten my special talent, have you? Opening any lock? Within a mere 5 seconds. So if you'd be so kind as to afford me the requisite time, old friend, in your typically accommodating manner. How can I refuse such a typically unappealing request, old friend? So I need to distract that burly sailor for 5 seconds, do I? Good man, so the game is afoot. Something in here that gets mentioned. Well, how did it happen last time we were on a ship like this? Accidentally tripped this. This would appear to be an alarm bell. All hell would break loose if that thing were to ring. The whole crew would know about it. How the hell did this happen last time out? Go for it. Be a miscreant. Here goes then. Pardon me in advance. You... What are you doing? If we were at sea, that would be very bad problem.
What's going on down there? Seaman Stroganov, report at once.
Sorry, sir. Nothing to report. It was just stupid trick. No, not by me, by world famous. No, as I told you. Now, Sholmes, now. Done. Not even 5 seconds, eh? Well, don't stand there. Go on at my brilliance, Mikotoba. Here we go. Oh, yes, of course.
Whee!
Say, yeah, how the hell did this happen last time out? Jesus wept. 3rd of November, the SS Grouse First Class Cabin number 2. Good gracious! It would appear that the occupants of this cabin did indeed disembark rather hurriedly. Those clothes on the floor there. They're Seishiro's without question. Well, it seems we are just a little too late. Yes, by about 2 hours. Still, whilst we're here, we should investigate thoroughly. There may well be 2 hours worth of clues to find in here. That burly crewman may return at any moment, Sholmes. Indeed, he may. Which makes this all the more thrilling! Alright, we will not stop until we investigate every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. Let's go! According to the report I was given, Naruhodo was concealing himself in Asogi's wardrobe. Indeed he was, and it was of a similar size to this one. Ah, you must climb inside yourself, my dear fellow. What? Whatever for? It was a sight of my first fateful meeting with Mr. Naruhodo. You can experience the moment for yourself now, complete with my dramatic rhetoric.
Come along now. In you go. This will only take a moment. Really, Sholmes. Surely you can just tell me what you said. Well, I uttered some brilliant remark and opened the wardrobe to reveal the stowaway murderer. I think I'll just read about it in the Adventures of Herlock Sholmes. Yes, indeed. Right. What is a foul here? The fact that that's stuffed, I think. That is on a bit of a canter. The books don't give anything away. That has been removed for a reason. And yeah, okay, right. What is on the desk? Quite the exquisite glass, I must say. See here how it's. Is something wrong, Sholmes? You suddenly trailed off. Ice, Mikotoba. Ice! What opulence the first-class passengers enjoy! Chilled drinks! Pardon? Could it be that this steamship is equipped with an electrically refrigerated cold room, do you think? Well, it is a luxury liner after all. They have enormous refrigerators for storing all sorts of lavish produce as well as ice. On our voyage from Japan, we enjoyed culinary delights from all over the world. Suddenly, Mikotoba. The sight of you is making my mouth water. Of all the things, okay. I haven't taken on the flavor of the food I ate, you know. But that's beside the joke there. That's a very interesting point. This ship may well have a cold storage room for storing all of the delectable delights and delicacies for the meals on the trip. Also a possibility for freezing a body that is not alive so as to shift or cloud up and make reporting an accurate TOD kind of hard to do. I scratched my chin at the notion. We'll see if that's actually relevant later. There's a speaking tube here, look. Though it's been stoppered with some cloth. So the voices of the crewmen on the bridge aren't an annoyance, I suppose. Or indeed, so that the voices in this cabin aren't heard elsewhere. Could something have happened in here that was for no one else's ears, do you think? Either that, or it could be to prevent snakes from entering. But that's really become a favorite case of yours, hasn't it? The speckled band, as it were. Yes, indeed. Oh, these are the rules of passage. Passengers must not keep weapons or other dangerous objects in their cabins. Pets are also strictly forbidden. Additionally, there are severe punishments for stowing away wardrobes and/or travel cases. I feel the rules have increased since I last read them, or probably just my imagination. What about the fact that they're not straight on the wall? Doesn't that strike you? You may be right. Probably just your imagination, though. A trifle. And you know what I always say, Mikotoba? There is nothing important about trifles. It's probably just my imagination, but I think that might be slightly off. Yes, perhaps indeed. We didn't investigate the trash man. Something's gotta be in the trash basket. This is the waste paper basket, look. And there's still rubbish inside. Indeed. Then let us pry. I've discovered recently I have a penchant for exploring the contents of others' waste paper baskets. I sincerely only hope for your work. Ah! Here we have a notice issued to passengers from 3 days ago. 3 days ago? The night before we arrived in London, then. When I was still aboard myself. Evacuation drill notice that if okay, right, I don't get to read that quickly, okay. Ah, yes! There was an evacuation drill, I remember now. For our safety and security, all first-class passengers were constantly under the watchful eye of the crew. So it was a welcome relief to have some privacy for once. Evacuation drill itinerary added to the court record about a practice evacuation to be carried out by the crew of the SS Grouse the night before the ship arrived in Dover. It was found in Judge Jigoku's cabin. Can we examine that now? No, we can only present. Well, I guess keep looking around then. That's Jigoku's trunk. That's a very sizable trunk indeed. Seishiro is possible to all things large, and a rather clumsy fellow if he failed to notice he'd left that behind. Perhaps he left it there on purpose. It's lighter than you might think, but still a hindrance to a speedy escape. Pity. It's locked, so we can't look inside. Surely 5 seconds from now, the situation will be quite different, though. Sadly not. It has a 7-digit combination lock. And I'm not in a morose enough mood to work through all the combinations at present. That's not to say he wouldn't do that, though. A bit of an admission there, is that? That's a substantial heap of clothes on the floor. An overcoat, shirts, a dressing gown, momohiki work trousers, a tanzen robe, a haramaki waistband. Clearly the clothing of a Japanese man. And clearly, Japanese men are unaccustomed to the culture of the wardrobe. It looks to me as if they've been thrown in a heap like that in something of a hurry. Indeed, you could help yourself to a Japanese man's shirt, perhaps. I'm sure you've made mention of packing too few. I'd very likely drown in one of Seishiro's shirts. No, I'll just buy any extras I need, I think. A fruit for a man like that, I see, okay. Plenty of reading material to keep passengers occupied on the long sea voyages. I found the mixture of classic literature and easy reading to be most satisfactory, I must say. Tch, whoever stocked this bookcase was a hopeless heretic. There's no copy of the Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, my dear fellows. I'm afraid it's just me, but no, you're quite right. More blasphemous than overlooking the Bible. I shall leave a copy behind. I just happen to have one with me. You are a true missionary for the Church of Great Detectives, aren't you? I mean, if there's any good devout religion to follow, it could be that one. The wall is a slightly different color just here, do you see? Indeed. What you have observed arises when the frame that's been hanging for some time is removed. Perhaps your friend is an art thief. So now there's a bold deduction worthy of a great detective, I am sure. He may very well be the elusive thief who's been plaguing France's galleries of late. I think perhaps we should focus our attentions elsewhere, Sholmes, don't you? That outline on the wall. I feel as though I might have spotted something of a similar shape and size elsewhere. I mean, Doi for sure. You are still here? Ah, Able Seaman Stroganoff. Hello again. I was beginning to think you'd never materialize. You are waiting for me? Of course. I was expecting you to burst in with a hearty Russian profanity far sooner. I was in trouble with Captain because of trick you played before. Oh dear, poor innocent chicken. It is all your fault. Ship is leaving port soon. Get off, now. Of course, we shall disembark presently, my dear fellow. But first, there is something that must be done. What are you talking about? Why, naturally. The debunking of your deceit and the bearing of the truth. Kakoi? Did I say that right? Kakoi? Kakoi? Kakoff? I don't know if I said that right. I'm afraid I see through your lies. For one thing, Mr. Jijioku has not yet left his vessel at all. And for another, my dear Seaman Stroganov, you know exactly where the man is, even as we speak, don't you? How can you... Good gracious, Sholmes, you mean you've worked it out? All of it? It's really been too long, hasn't it, old friend? 10 years, no less. So, would you care to join me for a dance of my imitable logic and reasoning? Nothing would please me more. What is this? We have minutes until the vessel puts to sea. No games now. Psst. Time is of the essence! Mr. Stroganoff! I'm just rocking out again because, yes, this is back. Mr. Stroganoff, allow me to remind you of your earlier claim. You told us that Jigoku left the ship some 2 hours ago. Duh, that is what I said. And sadly, that was a rather clumsy lie. You see, there is something in this room that quite clearly contradicts it. What? Ah, yes, of course. Yes, of course. I see you've noted it too, Mikotoba. Then please, do take the lead. What's in this cabin shows the impossibility of Jigoku having disembarked 2 hours ago. Let's see what the last 3 years have done to your observational skills then, Mikotoba. It's been 10 years since we last did this, Sholmes, not 3. Oh, why, of course it has, quite. Now, all the clues are here in this cabin for your eyes to see. But as I always say, you must not merely look, but observe. Observe and the answer becomes clear. So, impress me. I think I can manage that. What shows the impossibility of Jigoku having disembarked 2 hours ago? The strewn about clothes, the large trunk having not left? Glass containing eyes. Oh god, there's everything here, my god. Nah, the wardrobe wouldn't point to anything really. Wastepaper basket. Cabin door, mark on the wall, the bookshelf. I would say that's very freshly been... What is it? Very freshly been moved, hasn't it? So it must be something to do with that, I would think. There's no penalties for getting these wrong, so I have to say. I would think it's this. So I can't examine it.
Take that!
Let's try. Take that! Nope, not quite. What? You're penalizing me for this game! Come on! Mikotoba, no games now were my words, were they not? Come, Sholmes, where's the fun in life without a little fooling around, Ah. Quite right you are. That was a close shave. I'd better rethink that before I'm the fool here. Jigoku disembarked 2 hours ago at all. That was a lie, wasn't it? Of course it was, and I had hoped you would be quicker to point out why. Otherwise, the evidence itself may melt away before our very eyes. Hello. Thank you. Thank you for the good hint.
Take that!
He's actually doing a dance!
It's actually a dance! Jesus wept, I love that. Perhaps you should have cleared away that glass? How curious that the ice would have melted despite it being abandoned 2 hours ago. It would appear that the man was here in this very cabin until moments before our arrival. With this well-chilled glass in hand. Get your mind off the refreshments, Sholmes. One might even conclude that somebody informed him of our boarding. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Stroganoff? But why would Seishiro run from us? Before we consider that question, allow me to confirm one small matter. Would I be correct in saying that these first-class cabins of the SS Grouse are the same ones in which you and Mr. Jigoku were accommodated on your voyage from Japan? Ah, that's right, they are. I was in the cabin next door, and Seishiro was... yes. 50 days in this very cabin during our voyage. As I suspected, for you see, there are traces in this cabin of a dark secret that Mr. Jigoku had to hide. What traces? I know nothing about this! Ah, this is new to you, is it, Mr. Stroganoff? Sholmes, what exactly are you getting at? As I said, there are traces in this cabin of some nefarious activity. Something that appears out of place, which I'm quite sure won't have escaped your notice. Something out of place in here? That's the key to this, Mikotoba. The remnants of the dark deed that took place in here are being masked by something quite incongruous. I must say I didn't foresee ever doing this dance of deduction with you again, Mikotoba. No, quite. But life is full of unexpected twists and turns, as we well know. Now then, let's see if I can't uncover the truth here. Yes, you have the floor, my dear fellow. The remnants of the dark deed that took place in here that are being masked by something quite incongruous. The fact that you didn't replace the board back to its proper place because it should be there? I reckon so. And also as well, or it could be another the speaking tube, so you don't want it. Maybe this instead?
Take that!
Nope, not that. Yeah, it was a ball being moved. Sure thing. Mikotoba, no games now with my words, were they not? Yep. He's only gonna fall for that trick so many times, unfortunately. Like his mind is sort of up there. You must tilt your head to one side and listen carefully to the faint cries of the scene. Hear the evidence calling out for you to find it. Here I am, it cries. Well, your methods were never conventional, but I know I've always been willing to give them a try. Dear God, Mikotoba, open your eyes! It was a metaphorical listening that I was suggesting. Ah. Listen with your eyes, you... Yeah, must be this, surely. If I'm wrong on this one, then I don't know.
Take that!
Good God! Hang on. I think here is where I'm going to have to do my confidence save, because at some point I will be running out of points to use. So let's give this another go, shall we? Right. Ba-da-ba-da-ba. Oh, we got that. What? Traces of what? Traces of what? I thought there was traces of something in here that I didn't know of. No. Old bookshelf. So if it wasn't the speaking tube, if it wasn't the fact that that this was removed from there, or the fact that this is off kilter, is that what you're saying? I mean, I could be wrong again. Let's see.
Take that!
No, it was that. It was a passage being rather hastily put back. Man does a heck of a frickin' what is it? River dance. That's the one I was gonna do. Gonna go walk the dogs now, see you next time, and
Around the camp, of course! We can accommodate for Rowlet, sure!
let's have him on the screen for a little bit. There he is.
Yay! There's the boy!
I'll have him in my hand while I do this. Hopefully I can make this all work one-handed. Let's see. Alright. It's the rules of passage in this frame here. They're obviously out of place. The way they're hanging crooked on the wall, as if they were put there in a hurry. Yes, as I'm sure you've already concluded. That frame was originally over here. The shape and size are a perfect match. Duh, you are right. When did frame move? Hardly the most observant of crewmen, are you, Mr. Stroganoff? I would think your captain is quite justified in having his reservations about your reliability. Ah! Oh dear, that really seemed to touch a nerve. So, Mikotoba, why don't you lift that frame off the wall? Why indeed, why don't we? A gunshot! That looks like a bullet hole. What? Who has been shooting walls? I don't know. I see the projectile has been removed. Clearly the careful occupant of this room has already disposed of it. Now then, Mr. Stroganoff. I have the distinct impression that you're attempting to shield said occupant. I don't know what you are talking about. Why would I try to protect Eastern stranger? Ah, so we're talking about the same man, I see. Good. Duh. I'm sure we can get to the bottom of this in no time, aren't you? Oh, oops.
Gotta have my good boy facing the camera for a little bit. There we go. And a little scratch in the head. There we go.
Because there's some very noteworthy evidence that explains the reason why you're lying for the man. Yes, you've been told to keep up this pretense as clearly shown by... I really don't know how to approach this one, Sholmes. Ah, my dear Mikotoba, simply keep first principles in mind. Study your subject from every angle. And I'm quite sure that you will see it. In fact, I'd put a wager on it. So I'm to glare at the fellow from all sides. Well, I can certainly do that. Alright, turn all around in there. Ooh, it's chunky arms. It's all in his, like, muscly, chunky arms. It's all in there, absolutely. But no, it's here. Ah, you got a tip-off, did you, sir? Not one to shy away from a bribe. Also, how did Jikoku have how much money on him? Goodness me. But yeah, it's gotta be this shot.
Take that!
You took a bribe, sir. Now let me dance about it. It's almost too obvious for words. Quiet. The universal language of the world. Money. And I'd wager that the Eastern fellow in question is Seishiro Jigoku, yes? Yeah! So I presume you realize what this means? These are clear signs that a crime has been committed in this cabin. And the way you're going, sir, you'll find yourself accused of being an accomplice. But... I believe you know, Mr. Stroganov. You know where Mr. Jigoku is hiding at this precise moment in time. As always, Mikotoba, in matters of deduction, the furtive glance is your unfaltering ally. Yes, I think you're onto something there, Sholmes. You found the chink in this burly fellow's armor. We need only follow the man's gaze to know where our prey is hiding. Ah, it's back to this old trick again. The slightest flicker of the pupils and minutely delayed blink. Nothing escapes my attention, even that which is barely perceptible. You would hardly call this barely perceptible, Sholmes. The man stirred his entire head. It's not exactly what you describe as a furtive glance, is it? It's almost too obvious. We shall let your tapping toes decide, my dear fellow. No, he hasn't fitted himself in the trunk, has he? Goodness gracious! It's either the trunk or the wardrobe. Well, this is a play on how Yunosuke was first found in the speckled band case of Game 1. But yeah, he's looking directly at the trunk. How on earth is Jigoku fitting in this? But surely. Yeah, right. Let's give this a go.
Take that!
By God, the very large man Jigoku is somehow fitting himself in there. You turned immediately to look at this large trunk, didn't you? Gah! The truth is, Seishiro Jigoku is unable to escape from the ship in time, and is at this very moment doing his best to stifle his breath inside this trunk. If he still has a breath to take, I fear he may be running dangerously low on air. I imagine it didn't count on us making a nuisance of ourselves for quite so long. I think it will be in everyone's best interest for us to open the trunk as quickly as possible. But how can we? Are you forgetting about the combination lock? We don't know the 7-digit code! The combination lock can't be opened from inside the trunk. Therefore, there must have been an arrangement for somebody to open it after our departure. Of course! In short, before Jigoku hid himself inside that trunk, he must have told somebody the 7-digit number for the lock. As I'm sure you can confirm, Mr. Stroganov. No, I know nothing about combination code. Don't move a muscle, my good seaman. Huh? Now, Mikotoba, would you do the honors and open the trunk? How on earth do you inspect me? It's a 7-digit number, remember? Quickly now! We have little time.
View scene, thank you. This is... Whoa! Oh, he has so hastily written this on. And, oh, okay, so it must be from the perspective of him looking up at his arm like so. Oh, how would I look at his arm that way? Like that way, maybe? So if I turn it around and look at that way, I get 5231045. I believe so. Okay. 5231045. 52301 2 so 4 5 S H oh wait the one in it S H O L M in a very crooked way, E with the it looks like an E with the twiddle 2, and then S is a 5. It's gotta be the combo, right? Double check. 5231045. If you read the numbers backwards and upside down, you can just about legibly make out SHOLMES. Go for that. That's a clever puzzle. I like that. So I would have thought like the letters would have corresponded to like letters of the alphabet in like number order. So like S being, what would it be? Halfway is N, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, like 19, 8, 15, like that. But no, you had to read it as like, the way he wrote the numbers penned it as Shomes, but then when you look at it from another way, he was actually hastily writing down numbers, and they just happened miraculously to look like he'd written Shomes on his forearm. God, that was a clever puzzle. I loved that. And anyway, click.
Well, that did it. It's open.
You had to meddle, didn't you?
How on earth did you fit in there? How on earth? What the chuff?
Well, Eugene, you found me now. Seishiro. I was really hoping beyond hope not to find you here, you know? But you're not entirely unsurprised, I take it. No, quite. I just wish it was some other way.
Again, don't worry about it.
He can contort himself, no worries. Well, are you ever going to introduce me? Ah, your reputation precedes you, Mr. Sholmes. I've read stories of many of your exploits. Excuse my manners, Sholmes. This is Mr. Jigoku, my old friend and traveling companion. The devil is in the details, Bigatoba. I believe you meant to say, your old friend and traveling companion. Who made the cowardly decision to flee the country without a word to anyone when things turned sour. I see my reputation precedes me as well. What an honor. Well, Seishiro, are you going to explain all this? You know it all by now, I imagine. What you didn't know, of course, is that 3 days ago, on the night before our arrival in Britain, an attempt was made on my life here on this very ship. By the Reaper of the Bailey? Yes, I've since heard. Because you were once prosecuted by the Reaper, weren't you? 10 years ago now, mind you. And I had no idea at the time what a dangerous individual he was. Anyway, when we arrived in London to find the symposium was postponed until goodness knows when, it became all too apparent to me that I might very well be targeted again. So you decided to flee the capital without saying a word to me about it? I'm afraid so, yes. Of course I realize now that I really ought to have confided in you. It's somewhat surprising, I must say. But what is? Well, first-class cabins aboard luxury steamships are in very short supply.
It's more than a little hard to believe that this one just happened to be available. So says the protagonist of some colourful short stories. Well, I don't care for your opinion. The cabin did just happen to be available, so I purchased a ticket and here I am. I've just seen for myself if there are obvious remnants of that incident in this cabin. So you'd already purchased your return ticket before we'd even docked in Dover, have you? To prevent anyone else taking this cabin and seeing the evidence, is that it? Eugen, I have nothing to say to you. Well, in a mere 5 minutes, this ship will set off on its own onward voyage and not make port again until Italy. I'm afraid we must insist that you disembark with us at once. You have no jurisdiction over my movements. We have this, Seishiro. Take it. What is it? It's a subpoena from the Old Bailey. You're a man of the law. You know what the ramifications of ignoring a document like this from the British courts would be. You came prepared then, Eugen. Come on, let's go. One moment. What is it, Sholmes? Inside Mr. Jikoku's trunk. I found this rather fascinating trinket.
Whoa! Shall we... Oh, I was about to take a pause in that moment there, but yeah, we'll take it here. Okay, so we will have a look and discuss what we know about that top bit there when we come back from a break, because it's nearly time to run one now. We're getting close to the ad timer. So yeah, Twitch people, we'll take it here. But if you're in the ad, if you're in the YouTube video, there will be no break. We'll cut it out of the highlights, but do feel free to pause, take a quick break, and come back to us later. That's absolutely fine. Please make sure you take care of yourselves. This is a very long video at the end of the day. But yeah, in any case, we'll be back very, very shortly. See you in a bit. He very gradually strokes his beard every now and then. I notice that. And I just stroke my chin to be like, yes, this piece, what you've just shown me here, very interesting. What this all about? But first, before we discuss what we might know about this, let's welcome people back from the break if they took one. Welcome back, everyone, in Twitch land, also in YouTube land as well. There was no break, as I said, but yeah, thank you for tuning in as long as you have so far in the video. It's a long one, I know, but we appreciate you coming down. If you'd like to see some more of this, or let me know how you're enjoying things around here, do let me know. Leave a like and comment. Want to see more and show your love and support for me in a bigger way? You can subscribe, you can hit the bell too. Please consider doing so if you enjoy what you see here. And thank you in advance if you do so. So what could this mean then? This would actually point to Gregson, you know, actually being a bit of a deviant, a miscreant. Maybe he could actually have been it there. It's either that or somebody comes in to halt Gregson from doing such a thing. Or whoever it was, assailant from doing such a thing, and if it ends up being Gregson, and they did that there and then, that would lend a lot of weight, a lot more weight to the possibility that assailant gets taken out. If it's Gregson in this instant, let's theorize for a moment. We theorize assailant Gregson gets taken out. And we wouldn't want to leave a body out in the open like that for such a long time because odors would get through eventually. So find a way, possibly by bribing the crew as well, because as it turns out they're so very easily bribed. Take them, let them, like, get the permission to use the cold storage or the cold refrigerator, big old storage, like refrigerated area that keeps the body nice and chilled, or at least like maybe like a big old freezer area, which then upon coming back and being stored in the room that we found the body in originally, or where police found the body originally in the first place, that would be cause for the autopsy not revealing when the time of death was. Because, you know, freezing the body might stabilize that, and you can sort of mask that information by that. But then again as well, wasn't the coroner told not to write the information down in the first place by Strongheart for a reason? Like I said, ulterior motives! But anyway, let's carry on here. I'm done theorizing. But what is that? Seishiro?
I can't help you, I'm afraid. Some small component from something. Yeah, I know where that is. It's a shame I can't look at my evidence in here because, I guess we don't have any. That's all with Yunosuke back at the courts. But what? I have no idea. By the look on his face, I think he genuinely doesn't know. Well, let us pocket it as a small souvenir of our brief sojourn in France. A small machine part that Mr. Sholmes found in Judge Jigoku's cabin on the SS Grouse that is very likely the top of a pocket watch. And very, very likely, because put 2 and 2 together on this one, the top of the pocket watch that belonged to Gregson. But now we have it. Well, young Naruhodo, I think we've done as much as we can, I'm afraid. The rest will be on the shoulders of you and your assistant. Oh, that could have been a great time to pause it if I had enough time to reach this point, but I didn't. Alright, anyway, 3rd of November, 12:10 PM, the Old Bailey courtroom. Is it still just me in there, or... Oh, now we're back! I assume we got told this all in the interim. Or maybe it just blurts out to us when, I don't know, Sholmes comes rushing into the courtroom at some point later down the line. I can probably point that to happen at some point. But anyway. Kazuma Asogi. I know you. And I know you wouldn't lie. But still, there's no doubt that you're holding something back. You know more than you're saying. Ah, that sound again! God damn it! I don't like it. During the past 30 minutes while this court was adjourned, all possible efforts were expended. But sadly, Mr. Jigoku's whereabouts could not be ascertained. We must accept the unfortunate conclusion that the Reaper has already done the deed. There's no sense in wasting any more of the court's time. The prosecution calls for an immediate verdict. Objection! No. The trial cannot end now. You're a Japanese man, Yunosuke. You should know when to lay down your sword. And you should know never to presume when the battle is won. The court has already been presented with all the evidence and heard all relevant testimony. And there can only be one conclusion. That the accused is guilty. All relevant testimony? Far from it. There's still a crucial witness, from whom the court is yet to hear a single word of testimony. In that case, call your witness to the stand at once, counsel. Yes, my lord. Tomorrow, if possible.
The witness is already on his way and scheduled to arrive tomorrow.
Who on earth is this crucial witness? Seishiro Jigoku. The very man allegedly murdered by the Reaper. Judge Jigoku! You found him? But the investigation of every policing resource in the capital suggested that Jigoku is already dead. How in the name of God did you find the man? He was located in France during the recess, at the port of Dunkirk. Thanks to one of Mr. Herlock Sholmes' famous deductions. Herlock Sholmes? Inspector Gregson almost certainly met with Mr. Jigoku on the night of his death, because along with Prosecutor Asogi, Gregson was on a mission to assassinate the man. Which means that Seishiro Jigoku is the sole witness, who can clarify exactly what happened aboard the SS Grouse on the 31st of October. Well, it would appear that it's too soon to move to the adjudication at this point. The prosecution concurs. The court must hear Mr. Jigoku's testimony. No judgment should be passed until all testimony has been considered. In that case, I hereby call the end to today's proceedings. Court will reconvene at the same hour tomorrow. No objections from either side? No, my lord. No objections, my lord. live to fight another day by the skin of our teeth.
To be continued. I wonder how much we should continue because, I don't know, by this point this feels like a good drop-off, to be perfectly honest. Unless there's like a little bit that we get like updated in the interims between the days. Shall we do a tiny portion of that? Oh, there is an investigation to do. Ah, okay, I see. Alright, I guess we say to be continued right now! Let's go for it. I made an executive decision. The unexpected halt of proceedings sent a clamor around the courtroom. But outside the Bailey, where Londoners knew nothing of the secret trial within, it was a typical still night. Then, at a little past 8 o'clock that evening, Mr. Sholmes and his partner returned to Baker Street.
Oh, with a big old roast turkey!
I don't know Iris is that good at cooking, Jesus. 3rd of November, 8:07 p.m. at Sholmes' suite. We have returned, my dear fellows! Welcome back to Britain, and thank you for your timely help. Think nothing of it. I believe you've had an even more wearing day than Mikotober and I, no? Yeah, you could say that. We were on the brink of defeat in court earlier. Yeah, it was bad, you know. So, this prosecutor, Asogi, had you on the ropes, did he? And he's your best friend, you say? Well, he's not really the man I knew in Japan anymore. Cosmo has changed.
Oh, Mr. Naruhodo.
I mean, it's incredible. To think that it even entertained the idea of acting as the Reaper's assassin. Well, nevertheless, you must introduce me. After all, I've only ever met the young man as a corpse. When this all started, almost a year ago now, Mr. Sholmes still hasn't told us the truth about what really happened back then. About the motivation for what he himself described as a great detective's lie. Now then, I must say, it's really quite a journey all the way to France.
Well, it is another country, Mr. Sholmes. So, what news of Josh Chikoku?
Mama saying his name wrong. We took him to Scotland Yard. The investigating detectives there have a lot of questions for the man. Poor Professor Mikotober, this must be quite a shock for him. Oh yes, I picked this up at the telegraph office on our way home. What is it? Surely you haven't forgotten already? I put upon you for the matter only yesterday. You put upon me, Sholmes. I had to fill out your telegram to Japan and foot the bill as well.
Oh! You've had a reply already?
What was so urgent though, Mr. Sholmes? Such matters can wait until later. I'm far too hungry for an involved conversation at present.
Well, that's good news, because supper is ready, everyone!
Ah, and what a feast it is! If I were none the wiser, I think the trial were won already. Roast beef, kippers, stew, steak and kidney pie, Yorkshire pudding. Roast beef, yes. Stew, possibly depending on what kind of stew. Steak and kidney pie, could do without the kidney and honestly, but fine. Steak would be a good idea. Yorkshire pudding, yes!
Tomorrow could be a very long day, so eat up!
In that case, I think I'll seat myself just here. This place appears to be the only one set with a helping of pheasant as well.
I'm sorry, Harry, not there.
Why ever not? Are we in set places this evening?
Yes, and that place is for Susie's daddy.
For me?
That's right. I made it especially for you, Professor Mickey.
I see. Well, that's terribly kind of you.
It's a shame, really.
What do you mean?
Well, for a brief moment, I believed it. That Susie and I were half-sisters, I mean.
Oh!
Huh? Hmm?
Iris, do you mean...
Yes, I know now. I overheard yesterday. I secretly listened in on the conversation you had after I tricked you and told you to think I'd left.
What? The misunderstanding arose because of that autopsy report from 10 years ago. But actually, it turned out that neither Dr. Wilson nor Professor Mikitoba are Iris's father. Oh, big revelation again that just changed what we revelated about only last time? They keep a-changing in this video game, I swear. Yes, about that, Iris. You know,
I know. You can't tell me at the moment.
Oh, Iris?
The pheasant is by way of an apology. I'm sorry for eavesdropping.
Oh, no, that's quite all right. Then why don't I get any apologetic pheasant? So just, who is Iris's father? I suppose that's not something we'll be finding out today. So then, let us dine while our largely pheasantless plates are still piping hot. Fine idea, Sholmes. It all looks absolutely delicious.
Eat as much as you like, there are always seconds.
10-year-old is capable of this. Now, if only I was a 10-year-old that had, like, this ability here. The best I had was, like, they're slightly good at math back at then, so we took all the, like, the big old maths challenges, like the, oh god, what was the one that I took? Some sort of, like, international mathematics Olympiad thing, I think it was called. I don't know how far back it was. I know that I took something, like, adjacent to that in my, like, first couple of years in secondary school, because, I got fairly good grades above, most of the students in maths in that case, and they thought, yeah, why don't we put them through and, make them do, this thing and see how they fare. And honestly, I think the result I got back was, like, average at it? Like, I wasn't amazing at it, but I think, like, I was able to get, like, some of the stuff in it, but not everything. But, you know, it was worth trying. That good old G&T brain, it's no wonder how I turned out how I am right now. We'll see. This could be our last chance to ask questions before tomorrow's trial. About that telegram from Japan. And about Kazuma. I can't let this opportunity slip away. Over roast pheasant, is it? We've examined the fireplace. I think we have gotten everything in this room, haven't we not? Yep, we did. Is there something new on the... Ah, no, there's nothing new on the whiteboard, on the blackboard, I should say. Didn't think to keep looking at those because I didn't realize there were different things every single time. Not even the plate of food. Like, you think we'd be able to look at the food and what's on there, but no. Okay. Guess the only man we can talk to is Sholmes. Mr. Sholmes, what are you doing? Surely it's abundantly clear that I wasn't brooding over Mikitoba's refusal to share his pheasant with me. Nevertheless, I felt the need to withdraw from the social circle for a while and look on with hungry eyes.
Sorry, Harry, but I got that pheasant especially for Susie's daddy.
Even though I've played the role of father to you for far longer... Mr. Sholmes, can I discuss some things with you? Certainly, my dear fellow. I find myself quite in the mood for a spell of conversation. No doubt you're hungry to learn more of my deep love of game. I can probably contain my curiosity on that one. Yeah, other things, please. You didn't look at me in that fashion. In what fashion? It seems that before we discuss the pheasant, we have some rather unpheasant matters to discuss. Hey, yo! Nice one, Herlock. Nice one. Yeah, you're right. That indeed we do. That indeed we do. That indeed. Maybe is this something that we can present untoward? Maybe, mayhaps that? Oh, I mean, we can look at it ourselves. And take a look. You see these little things all over the place, don't you? It's the part on the top of a pocket watch that you twist to set the time, isn't it?
It's called the crown, I believe. And a watch would be quite useless without one.
The crown? Like what sits on top of a monarch's head? That's a very grand name for such a tiny part. But actually...
Yes, Mr. Naruhodo?
If this is a crown... I have a feeling I might have seen a monarch around here somewhere with a very bare head.
If by monarch you mean pocket watch, then I'm quite sure you have.
Yeah, indeed, yes, and certainly, and 100% truly we have. Maybe do you know something about it? Mr. Jones, would you mind looking at this? This is hardly the time, Mr. Naruhodo, as I'm sure you would appreciate. Oh, no, of course not. My attention is entirely drawn to one single matter now. The pheasant! Gosh, anyone would think you haven't eaten in weeks. Do you know anything about this sword? That you do not.
You know, I never fully read this.
Following departure for the port of Dunkirk, all crew members are required to assemble on the main deck at 10 PM in order to review evacuation procedures. The drill will take 20 minutes. Crew are to resume duties as soon as the drill is over. That's lending way more weight to the theory that I cooked up sort of last time. So yeah, it's lending way more to it. That's ample time to move a body into whatever cold storage your ship has. There you go. Do you have anything to say about this? I can imagine it might do, actually.
Really?
But it's you in bunny form! Why would you not want to look at yourself in bunny form? Come on now. What about the trophy itself? Would you know anything about that? Right, this is probably lending a bit of a weight to the fact that I probably don't have much to offer, unless... No. Maybe asking him for looking at evidence is not the thing to do. Oh, did you have any idea about this, maybe? Yeah, then probably absolutely nothing about it then. Okay then, let's just talk. A telegram from Japan. So, what was in the telegram you received back from Japan then? Oh, this? I thank my lucky stars has arrived in time. Record found as indicated. Duplicate follows. K. Asogi, A. Shin, T. Gregson, J. Wilson. What? Those four names. We've come across the exact same list before. They came up in that unforgettable case last spring. What appeared to be a simple case of aggravated murder turned out to be masking some monumental intrigue. A plot that involved the sale of British governmental secrets to foreign states. And exposing the means by which those secrets were being leaked to decipher the fragment of a message. K. Asogi, A. Shin, T. Gregson, J. Wilson. But we didn't find the names out until the case was over, and we never did get to the bottom of what they meant. All we knew was that the information had been sent by somebody in the British government to somebody in Japan. So, why are the names coming up again now?
Yes. Where did the sender of your telegram discover them, Mr. Sholmes?
I have here the message I wired yesterday. Allow me to read it to you. Enter Josh Jigoku's office undetected and investigate telegram records. Expect to find communication from Britain dated 1 year ago. List of 4 names. Need by tomorrow. Naruhodo. I sent it to a detective I know who specializes in clandestine missions of this nature. Would that be Hosonaga by any chance?
You asked Inspector Hosonaga to undertake such an onerous task for you?
And in my name? I wonder what guys he opted for this time. Definitely would be weird wandering in the Supreme Officers of the Supreme Court of Japan office. Would be weird to do that in a turtle suit, I imagine, in the bathing suits. Yeah. My dear fellows, it was a matter of great urgency, you understand. But anyway, the list of names was found in Seishiro's office as Sholmes predicted. So you mean that mysterious collection of names that was sent from Britain to Japan was...
It was sent to Josh Jigoku. He was the intended recipient.
I don't believe it.
But that doesn't answer the question of what the list of names actually signifies.
I did formulate a hypothesis about that. But without a shred of evidence, I couldn't possibly have shared it. Oh, Mr. Sholmes. Looks deadly serious for once. Telegram from Japan added to the record from Inspector Hosonaga in Japan with details of the telegram he managed to locate by stealing into Joshikoku's office. With the 4 names on it. Right then. And... finally, what truly happened? And all the way back when? That tragedy we had to go through in the SS Buria. It was all for nothing! Kazuma wasn't dead at all! We were completely taken in by the lie you told us! Your great detective's lie! I took no pleasure in deceiving you. However, at the time, all that concerned me was preventing the young man's study tour from taking place, whatever the cost. What? I capitalized on the events that transpired to see that he was sent back to Japan.
His remains, you mean?
Precisely, Mrs. Otto. And then, I made sure that somebody else was sent to Britain in his stead.
Oh my! You mean...
The arrangement between our 2 countries was already in place. 1 university student lawyer and 1 judicial assistant to be accommodated on a study tour. In other words, by arranging for someone else to fill the place originally intended for Mr. Asogi, I would successfully prevent the man from arriving on our shores for several years at least. Wait, do you mean to say that it was all in aid of stopping Kazuma coming to Britain? That's why you... Think back, Mr. Naruhodo. Was there not someone who quite casually urged you to continue on the voyage to England? The terms of this study tour were negotiated by the Departments of Justice in both Great Britain and Japan. In the light of Mr. Asogi's unfortunate death, I'm afraid the study tour can no longer go ahead. My dear fellows, the majority of problems have an extremely simple solution, you know. All you require is 1 lawyer, and the study tour can continue, surely.
But there's no one else with the necessary qualifications, Mr. Sholmes. We know of no other lawyer.
The voyage to London still promises a good month of time. Ample opportunity, I would say, to find yourself another suitable lawyer. So, Shu manipulated me? I've often remarked on the extraordinary lengths to which friendship will drive a man. I was quite sure that you would rise to the challenge for your late friend. I don't believe it! Herlock Sholmes just gaslighted us! Jesus! We'd expect no less from him in this game, honestly. But yeah, literally, like, a few steps away from directly gaslighting us into being, yes, of course, we will take the stead. We will learn all about British law in the span of a month, and we'll be ready to get back and, like, we'll see to this study trial goes ahead. The gaslighting son of a biscuit. Love it, though.
But if it was all contrived... I mean, what happened was treated by the authorities as murder. A woman was mistakenly arrested as a perpetrator. What do you suppose came of her?
Naturally, I didn't allow the misapprehension to have any serious repercussions. I subsequently explained everything and assisted the unfortunate soul in finding the fallen refuge she sought. I seem to remember Miss Cesaro and I had some rather strong words for her. Well, she was certainly not devoid of all guilt. She deserved every word, I'm sure. I wonder if she made it to America then. All the way back then, Miss Pavlova, yes, I remember.
I'm afraid I simply cannot comprehend it. Why would you go to such lengths, Mr. Sholmes? Why were you so determined to stop Kazuma-sama from reaching Britain?
The truth is, 12 months ago, there was already a very tangible omen of the impending tragedy, you see.
Oh!
An omen that at this very moment in time is close at hand. An omen of all these tragic events that already existed a year ago is it close at hand? We need to find out exactly what Mr. Sholmes knows. So we do have something in our court record that will give us what we need. I see. Unless a room has a previously as of right now, undiscovered thing about it, but no, I think it's more likely that I've got it in my evidence somewhere. Just do a double check and check. Not the analytoscope, not all this trash in the back, not the Stradivarius. Yeah, I think I've got it in my evidence actually. Right, we still have no idea who this gun belongs to? No, not that. Oh, this coming back? Give us a mo. Right, I think we're getting down to a process of elimination here. None of what we got recently is what's mattering here. Or is it? I don't think I showed him this, did I? No. Yeah, we are essentially just going down to a process of elimination on this one. We'll find it eventually, I'm sure. Wasn't the trunk. Or my photo here of some kind? So none of them... The fake warrant card? Or the real, or the fake, whichever way it went. Gotta be something from way, way earlier then. All the way back when? Jeez, I wish I knew.
my band, or something like that. We'll get there. We'll get there soon. We'll get there soon! It'll happen. Like, as soon as I present it right, then we'll have it done. Dismissal notice. Does it all come back to this? I'm basically just like aiming a wide spread of darts, and none of them are hitting the target right now. Nope. Oh, maybe you're still really fixated on this whole Red Hat League article thing. Nope. It'll happen. It'll definitely happen. You're just hearing like the same sound effects over and over again, I know by this point. I know we hadn't tested it by this point, we just gotta get it out of the way and just make sure. Okay, so nothing on the first page. Is there something wrong with the plan or the notice board? Yeah, because I'm not allowed to move anywhere else. And I've gone through all the things right now, so it's got, yeah, it's gonna be something that I've that's in my record. So what haven't I presented yet? Do I need to present back to him the telegram that he got? Oh, yes I do, yes I do. Okay, that's it, fair is. There was no room for doubt with your instructions in this telegram, Mr. Jones. You were very clear that it was just Jigoku's office that should be searched. So, you obviously knew that's where the list of names would be found.
Kei Asori, A. Shin, T. Gregson, J. Wilson.
But we only learned of those 4 names just over 6 months ago now. And only because they appeared as part of the top-secret government communications that were leaked. That's true, yes. But at the time, you were unaware of the background. You see, those 4 names were wired to Japan. Around 6 months before that. Approximately this time last year, in fact, when you were both still in Japan. Ah! The timing is, very important here. It really would be hypocrisy on my part to reprove others for intercepting state secrets. Because after all, I'm perpetually eavesdropping on communications between the British and Japanese governments. You're perpetually doing what? How? Never mind the details, but you should know. No secret is safe from Herlock Sholmes when he has designs on knowing it.
Oh my! Mr. Sholmes! What a fabulous line!
Now, 1 month after that list of 4 names was wired to the recipient Jigoku of Japan, Dr. John H. Wilson was murdered. Ah! As soon as I learned of the incident, a hypothesis rapidly took shape in my mind. As it turned out, I was partly correct and partly mistaken. Nevertheless, it was the beginning of all the tragic events that were to follow.
Mr. Sholmes, please, tell us all you know. And tell us about these 4 names and the tragedy to which they're all somehow connected.
Yep, gotta get it on, as we have the... We gotta know, it's the we have to know right now music. That's what it's playing right now. As I said, when I learned of Dr. Wilson's murder in Japan, my mind immediately turned to those 4 names. Because, you see, there was someone else on the list who I believe to be recently deceased.
Who? A Shin, as it was transcribed in Japanese script. In actual fact, Miss Asa Shin. That was a familiar name to me. She was a professional killer, well known among London's unsavory classes. Oh, I see. But she had completely vanished from existence several months before Wilson's murder. So I came to the logical conclusion that she had herself been killed. And accordingly, I became fearful for the lives of the remaining 2 persons on the list.
Ah, Kate Asogi and T. Gregson.
Owing to our proximity, I decided to take measures to protect Gregson myself. But I determined it would be safest if young Asogi were to stay away from Britain. Oh, so that's why you went to such lengths to prevent his study tour from going ahead. Exactly.
So, you already knew who Kazuma-sama was, Mr. Sholmes?
Oh yes. Sholmes and I have exchanged correspondence for years. I've recounted many tales about Asogi to him in my letters. And in the news of Dr. Wilson's death, of course.
So, Dr. Wilson is dead then? I didn't know.
Oh, Iris!
I know he wasn't my daddy, but still. That's very sad.
I'm so sorry, Iris. We knew the significance of the name, obviously, but we just couldn't bring ourselves to tell you.
No,
But what you just told us, Mr. Sholmes, doesn't completely tie in with the facts. There's one big hole in your hypothesis.
A big hole, Miss Naruhodo?
Ah, yes. You mean about Asa Shin, I presume.
Oh, of course!
Exactly. She wasn't killed, was she? She was in Japan, posing as a visiting student under the name of Giselle Bratt. I'm glad you're keeping up, my dear fellow. But I only became aware of that fact 2 days ago, in the foyer of the Great Waterloo Hotel. And upon hearing of that startling revelation, the hypothesis that I'd formed surrounding those 4 names was completely turned topsy. What? Topsy? Turnabout topsy, as it were, shall we say. What do you mean when you say hypothesis was turned topsy, Mr. Sholmes? I had believed all 4 names on the list to be the names of victims. However, I was mistaken. Very much so. Asa Shin was a killer. So this telegram is a list of both victims and killers, is it? Indeed. And it would seem that Miss Shin was dispatched from Britain with the sole intention of dispatching Dr. Wilson. Her visiting student status being merely a front. The assassins on top and the targets on the bottom? So directly above and corresponding to one another. Keiasogi sent to doing Gregson, A Shin, Asa Shin sent to doing Jay Wilson at some point. So is that what Asogi was tasked to do at some point somehow? Or am I reading that too much? We'll see. Her visiting student status being merely a front. Oh!
Which would of course explain why no motive could be determined for her actions.
So the real reason Dr. Wilson was killed by Asa Shin is because he was the target of assassination! And forearmed with that knowledge, fresh consideration of this telegram puts the list in a very different perspective. What do you mean? Well, did it not strike you? There is another among the 4, who subsequently became a visiting student. Wait, you mean... But of course, A name you know only too well. You mean Kazuma?
Oh!
He did say in court earlier today. Yes, on 31st of October, I accompanied Inspector Gregson to Dunkirk in order to carry out a mission. And the mission was the assassination of the monarch. Young Mr. Asogi accepted that mission a year ago now.
Surely not!
In conclusion, this document is a contract of sorts. An international agreement, one might say, detailing an assassin exchange. An assassin exchange? How could Kazuma possibly have gotten involved in something like that? We're getting down and dirty, digging into all this. My goodness. Let's assume that we have two parties, each wishing to dispose of a distinct individual. Those two parties then make a contract to swap their respective assassination targets. That would then be an assassin exchange. An assassin, Granville, fetch a cloth.
So to begin with, the British assassin dispatches a visiting student to Japan, where she kills her target. And then the Japanese assassin dispatches a visiting student to Britain in order to eliminate his target. It certainly does sound like an exchange.
But what on earth is the point? Don't forget, Naruhodo, that the British assassin at least escaped conviction, thanks to diplomatic immunity afforded by consular jurisdiction. Oh yeah! Such jurisdiction should be null and void under the terms of the new treaty between our two countries. So the fact it was brought up to play suggests intervention at the very highest levels. The highest levels? Who right now is at the highest level of British court rulings in that country right now? Who would have the ulterior motives for that? I don't know, I could be jumping ahead of conclusions, but I think we're linking them together now. These murders were two sides of the same coin, linked not by a common motive, but by contractual agreement. As such, they appeared utterly unrelated. Yet in truth, the assassins were complicit in one singular devilish scheme. That disassociation and a safeguard of diplomatic immunity were, I believe, the motivation behind this plot. But wait a minute, Sholmes. If this telegram really is describing the exchange of assassins as you're suggesting, it would mean that the Japanese killer's target was never Seishiro Jigoku at all. It would mean Asogi's target was actually Inspector Gregson. What? Kazuma was here for Gregson! So Judge Jigoku wasn't actually the mark.
Yes, that's exactly what it would mean.
I hold myself personally responsible for failing to keep the inspector safe.
Mr. Sholmes.
I told him of my fears and implored him to seek his transfer to an overseas position. Obviously, with the young pickpocket in tow. Yes, Gina. Come to think of it, Inspector Gregson did mention that to us at the Great Exhibition. He'd be transferring to the Paris police and taking Gina with him. But without informing me, he engaged in one last assignment, it seems. And sadly, it turned out to be his very last. This is too much to take in.
All right, everyone. That's quite enough of all that serious talk for one day. Isn't it, Hurley? I mean, look at the time!
Ah, quite right, Iris. We must conclude our preparations for tomorrow. What preparations? Well, I think I shall make my way back to my hotel room now. This has certainly been a night to remember.
It is a little bit sad there.
Hmm?
I mean, I like the idea of you being my daddy. Because then Susie would have been my big sister.
I am sorry, Iris.
I know, Iris. I was thinking quite the same thing. Were you? But if somebody like me would be worthy, I'd be delighted to become your sister. What? Really? Oh yes, without question. So, you'll teach me all the ways you know to throw Runa to the floor? Yes, of course. It would be my pleasure.
You didn't have to agree quite so readily.
Oh, but wait a minute. If Susie's going to be my big sister, you could be my big brother if you want, Runa. Huh?
I mean, yeah, of course. If you'll have me, I'll gladly be your brother, question mark. Well done, Iris. We must always be mindful of feelings. I've raised you so well. Because being sensitive is your strong suit, naturally. Oh, but it's funny about it, though. Come on. Just give me a moment.
Right. I'm going to work extra hard for tomorrow now, because it's for my big brother and sister.
What is all this talk about preparing for tomorrow? Preparing what?
You'll just have to wait and see.
Oh, I don't like surprises. Why? Good-looking court tomorrow. I'm expecting a sterling performance. Well, I'll do my very best, of course. So the overnight break in the trial's proceedings became a crucial turning point, exposing new truths while posing new conundrums. That list of foreign names in the telegram in Judge Jigoku's office, and the extraordinary assassination plot in which my best friend had somehow become involved. I felt as though I had been plunged into an even greater darkness all of a sudden. But at the same time, I felt sure I would see the light again soon. Because I was lucky enough to have the most wonderful family in the world standing steadfastly behind me. And that is a sweet anecdote to say, to be continued next time. We'll actually take that as our point to say that's it. But alright then, I'm so intrigued and pumped to carry this on, I know. As we get to the trial, part number 2, and everything coming to light right then. Let's let this play on the 4th of November. They're gonna have this, like, the celebration of this at the end of this is gonna be on the bonfire night situation, isn't it? Because we're a day before, remember, the 5th of November. They'll have a big old bonfire celebration to, like, celebrate the fact that this is all been done, I suppose. But right, we take a pause right here, we make a save right there, and yeah, that's why we call it. So when we come back, we're back into the courtroom to carry on with the second phase of the trial period. I expect like another maybe 2 episodes to get that done, but we'll have to wait and see. For now, though, this has been a very fruitful and very interesting, engaging episode, and I sincerely hope everyone has come along and enjoyed this with me. If it's for a short period, that's absolutely fine. I sincerely hope you enjoyed your short time with us today. If you've been here for the entirety of it, god damn, you're a trooper. Thank you so much. Much love to you. And anybody coming in as well. Right, let's just double check for everyone here. Sure, we'll let this play out, it's fine. At least we'll have some music for what we do here. Oh, I thought I did. Strongheart be like, I've come to make an announcement! But not that one, please. Not the one that's Dr. Eggman like. I've come to make an announcement. Barak von Zeeks is an absolute... It's an absolute... Yeah, I'm not going to say that. It's not going to be one of those messages, is it? But anyway, if you didn't know already, this VOD will be made into the highlight ready for you to enjoy after the fact in about a week's time. Come over and check out the Laura Petal VOD channel on YouTube if you're still watching this in Twitch land and you want to catch up on anything that you've missed today. But if you're in YouTube land as well, once we've made this highlight and you're watching it from there, thank you for coming along for the ride. And yeah, come and check out the Twitch channel. You might be seeing me live right now or something, or you might be able to check out at least all the videos going on there and see the sort of stuff we get up to. We have usual streams on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. So come over here and see what's good for you. Check out the details in the video description as well as a bunch of all the other links that I use there for like my social feeds and whatnot. So check those out there. Follow them if you would like to, and yeah, follow me over there in there as well. Would be great to have you on board for this. But yeah, I sincerely hope you've enjoyed here on YouTube. If you have done, let me know. Leave a like and comment down below. If you'd like to go further with your love and support, please feel free to hit the subscribe button. Please feel free to hit the bell as well. You can get the push notifications of the further episodes in this series coming up very, very shortly, hopefully. And yeah, when we return to this, maybe not all, but at least we'll make some headway, and some of the details will be laid down as to getting our way and figuring out the truth behind everything. Seal our resolve and seal your resolves as well, and come back to us next time where we'll continue this. I hope you're looking forward to it. I certainly am. I sincerely hope I've made your day better as a result of this video. If I have, lovely. I hope I get a chance to do it again at some point in the future. For now though, please stay and stay awesome. Enjoy what you've got coming up next, and I hope to see you around here at some point again. If so, love you all so much. Cheers for coming in, and I hope you have a lovely day. Take care of yourselves until next time.